governors.
Right, it's time for biscuits and hot tea.
The facilities for that, big man. You understand?
Top of the morning, governors.
That's right, it's time for biscuits and hot tea.
Bang! Bang! It's good! Cleveland! This is for you! Cleveland! This is for you! Is it the shoes? Goddamn right. And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.
What the hell is wrong with you people? Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
Goddamn right.
Then get out. Then Esther, I don't care. Esther, 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 Esther. Because Esther, because you were being rude.
Teach your man how to squabble. Get that trigger next time, nigga.
They said enough gave you niggas money.
Enough is enough. I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Claudine, GTD. What does GTD stand for? Man, you are in a court of law. There are a lot of people in here. We can't hear you. Your Honor, you're going to have to make them speak up. What does GTD stand for?
Got the draws, okay?
Yeah, he got the draws.
Normally I don't do this, but I'm gonna hit y'all off with a little taste of the remix. Y'all ready? Here we go. I pick you up from the club, take you home to make some love. Got a surprise, close your eyes. I'm gonna cover you in suds. I'ma give you some poo-poo. I'ma give you some pee-pee. I'ma give you some doo-doo. Wash it down with some wee-wee. This is the remix edition of a song about pissing. I got that pee and leaking, and there's juice in the kitchen. I sip Chris. You drink piss.
Motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get finished with you. Shoe program, nigga. Who the fuck you think you fucking with? I'm the police. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Bitch that how my fuck me. Hold up. Nah, fuck that bitch.
You're contagious. Touch me, baby. Give me what you got.
This is a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl.
You know me, I'm your friend, your main boy, thick and thin. I'm your pusher man.
If you think you want it now, wait until tonight, girl.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my
Nice. Y'all killing me with this.
You ain't gotta say too much from the look in your eyes. I can tell you wanna fuck. You ain't gotta call me your boo, just as bad as you wanna fuck. I wanna fuck too. No.
He's on fire! Boom shakalaka!
Turbulence, people.
Is it the shoes?
Goddamn right.
Bang! It's good!
This is hurrah. Abdul, get the rock.
It's good!
Goddamn right.
Access denied.
Is that an arm baby? Y'all know I don't do arm babies. Throw that baby in the trash can. Respectfully.
You ain't got no job, man.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Now what y'all know about the Texas boys?
I'm living on the air in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, WKRP.
Port of Miami, Port of McKinney. Ain't got nothing to lose. This is Port of McKinney.
H-I-L-L-Y, Northwest, Southwest, Southside.
Hey y'all, welcome to Detroit City. I said welcome to Detroit City.
Oh boy, I don't give a fuck. Oh boy, I'm coming in a big black truck. Oh boy, y'all motherfuckers backed up. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team fucking here.
You can find me in St. Louis, where the gunplay rained all day.
You do realize that we can see you lying, right?
Who do you think you are?
Bang! It's good!
Goddamn right.
It doesn't matter what you think! Is it the shoes?
Turbulence, people.
Auntie Jill! The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
I likely should have my microphone on. Let me see salute in the chat to make sure you guys can hear me. Let me see salute in the chat to make sure you guys can hear me. Microphone should be working. You guys let me know. I'll wait. While you guys are doing that, I'll check the Cash App and make sure no one has sent me anything. Let me know when you guys can hear me. Salute to the homie Lazy Bone. He around here somewhere, mad. Who's this white woman she sent me? Oh, I don't remember that. Why am I talking into the microphone as if this person who sent me a text could hear me? Salute to everyone. Let me see. Salute in the chat to make sure you guys can hear me. Okay, cool. Okay, thanks, TP. Yeah, I was muted at first. Appreciate you, bro. What's going on, TP? Great to have you. Kevin Grissom. Salute to you, Jay Gray. I see you, bro. Mark Cooper, I see you. Eric Jordan, I see you. Chelsea.
What it do, baby?
Not you, Derek. Get off my screen, Derek. Salute to everybody. Yeah, I got my new laugh y'all said yesterday. A couple people told me to clip that. Genius. Salute to the squad. Let's see what we got. Gloria says, I know it's King Theo has entered the building. What's going on, Gloria? Great to have you as always. Let's see what's going on, Derek. I see you, E. Jones. I see you, First Man Genghis. I see you. First Man says Ninja watching at the job. Salute to you, bro. Let's see, Charles. What's going on, bro? Great to have you, man. Salute to the homie DeMarco.
You ain't got no job, man.
Salute to you, DeMarco. Craig Dixon, I see you. Project Leroy, I see you. Broken Traditions, I see you, bro. Yo, leave my cat out of this, bro. I heard you say earlier. What is up with you and your girl, man? We all stop trying to kill my cat. Jesus, that's how we treat people down in Georgia, man. Salute to you, bro. I saw you say you were out in DC, man. Make sure you're traveling safe. What's good, Theo and the squad? Says Vinny Moore. I make sure to pay my respect and hit the like button on the way in. Appreciate you, Vinny. That tells me, Mr. Moore, you were raised by decent folks, and unfortunately, a lot of the not the subscribers, just the viewers. Majority of people Ninja watching, they weren't raised by good people. Salute to you, man. Mr. Poombastic, I see you. We got Baltimore in the building. All right, let's get it started. V. Lee, I see you. What it do, Theo, man? I'm chilling, baby, on a Wednesday, man. Happy to have y'all, man. Let's get it started. Make sure you guys put the locations in the chat. Let me know where you guys are watching me from. The homie Romeo Slack says, Nolan is in the house. Nice ward. Let's see, bro. I got something for you, man. I got something for you. I was playing it earlier. It's one of my, everybody like to drop.
Auntie, chill.
Salute to you, TP. All right, let's get it started. Project Leroy says the Rat King is here. Appreciate you, Project Leroy. Hold me down. Make sure moderators hold it down as always. We should be good. We should be good here. It's more black conversation. It's usually one when it's someone white, like just Pearly. People come here losing their mind. We should be good, though, everybody. Pinball, I see you. Pinball, where you checking in from? He said, from I-275. I know Pinball out there on the road. I saw you check in the other day, man. I hate you guys be sending me the locations and, you know, the chat be moving so fast. I can't acknowledge it. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Let's get it started. Let me know where you guys watching me from. Your boy Theo is broadcasting live from Detroit, Michigan. Let me see those locations in the chat. Location in the chat. Let's go. Squad.
What it do, baby?
Where y'all watching me from, bro? Alboski, I see you. Paul, I see you. Mona D. Make sure you guys subscribe to Mona D as well as the lovely Chelsea's live line. Chelsea, let us know when you're going live next. Mona D as well. Salute to everybody. We got Pooh Man 313. What up, though? What up, though, to all my Detroiters? What's good, everybody? We got Broken Traditions. The homie Jay Gray representing Memphis. Deuce Cigarello in KC, Kansas. Great to have you, bro. Craig Dixon representing BX. BX all day, cuz. Let's see. We got Detroit in the house. We got Philly in the house. I hate this music going over the drops. We got Jersey. PG County. What's going on, Black Superman? Great to have you, man. Salute to the homie Smitty, too. Respect. Styles.973. My day one sub.
Bang! Bang! It's good!
There's only 20 of us in this bitch. It wasn't even 20, it was 5 of us, dog. Me, SP, Janesta, Raging Half Asian, and like, yo, salute to the squad, man. SP always hold me down. SP, hold me down in the chat, bro. Let's see, we got Inglewood in the house. We got DC in the house. We got St. Louis in the house. Where's my St. Louis drop? Where's my St. Louis drop?
You can find me in St. Louis, where the gun play, rain all day.
TP says, Beaver can back gas station party.
Bang! Bang! It's good!
Be safe, TP. They might come snatch your phone. Salute to you, bro. We gonna, you know what? My Detroiters. We've been talking about Detroit meetup. That's where we gonna meet up. B-Wick and Mac, yo. That's where we gonna meet up at. We gonna live stream from B-Wick and Mac and show the nation that chaos that is known as one corner on one neighborhood on the east side of Detroit. That's the meetup. We're gonna meet up at B-Week and Mac, bro. I suggest bring your gun. Salute to you, TP. We got Dallas in the house. Who else we got in the building? We got Dallas. We got ATL, ho. What's going on, Scott Free? I see you. Carly, salute. I see you, Conley. Great to have you, bro. The Ohio State Buckeyes.
Access denied.
I'm gonna time you out, Derek. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. We got Dallas in the building. We got Columbia. Salute to you, Jay Fleming. Jay, let us know. One of you guys, one of the moderators, could drop the link to Jay Fleming. I got to start checking out more of his content. Ashanti, what's going on with you? Let's see. Pinball player says Tampa delegation checking in from Cincy. There you go.
Bang! Bang! It's good.
Get out of Cincy quick, Pinball. Jermaine Reese is another Cincy resident. He's cool. You might get Derek. You might get a little of that hate juice on you. Make sure you keep rolling right past. Salute to you. From Prince to King Duval, 904 Jacksonville in the house.
Bang! Bang! It's good.
I got my mediocre Jacksonville drop. I play it every time, and every time I'm disappointed after I play it. I've never been to Florida, let alone Jacksonville of all places. No disrespect to Jacksonville. I'm just saying. I need somebody to send me something good for Jacksonville. Let's see. Dale Day in the house. I see you. Let's see. Miss McCray, I see you. Okay, we got a bunch of South Carolina. I got to put this South Carolina drop Alboski sent me. I got to update that one. I got something new, but I haven't put it in yet. Cujo, I see you. Who else? Kiera XO, I see you. Let's see. The homie, I know Corey Joe representing ATL. Don Jeter, what's good, bro? Fulton County Correctional Facility. Yeah, what's going on? Salute to you, Don. Reppin' Magazine, I see you. Pooh Man 313. All right, let's get to it, guys. Let's get to it. Before we get started with today's show, I just had to get some shout-outs real quick, guys. You already know what to do. Y'all know the drill. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. We on the road to 100,000 subscribers. Unfortunately, we have to stop at 50 first. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. I don't know how close we are to. I think it's 47,000 last time I looked. Close to it. My apologies. Let's see. Salute to Squeegee Kid. He was yesterday's show sponsor. We're definitely looking for another show sponsor. You can support the show, Super Chats, as well as Cash App. I got my phone right here. And Derek, speaking of that, Derek sent me a Cash App. What Derek said, what Derek got right here. Let's see. 1 second here. Hit the calendar link for people that need help with their channels. I got the link on there so I can help you with your channels. Your boy Theo, 14 million. Just hit 1 year the other day. Monday, 1 year on YouTube, 14 million views. I know what I'm doing. Let's see. Salute to the homie Derek. He said, sent you $5 for I hope none of your lighters work today. None of my lighters work. You know what, Derek, that's funny. That'd be physically impossible. I'm a dude that has 100 lighters on him. You would think like I was a cigarette smoker. Like I always got 3-4 lighters. Dude, what? I don't have so many lighters on me. That'll never happen. Salute to you. Derek Gaines, I appreciate the Cash App. Derek always distracted me with his foolishness. Oh, yeah. Oh, last but not least, I had to give a shout out to Grown Folk Talk. I put a community post in there yesterday. My sister, Grown Folk Talk, who's probably ninja watching right now, is my sister, went from 200 subs yesterday to 1,600 on that ass.
Bang! Bang! It's good!
Salute to her, man. I was watching her channel yesterday, and she had like 500 subs. I'm like, damn, your channel's kind of growing. But she hit a video, and it hit the algorithm, and then she done took the fuck off. And props to Grown Folk Talk, because her and her husband, they put in the work, putting out great content. But, and it's not me. I talked to my sister, and I'm like, my sister said something. She was like, and this is her words, not mine. She was like, we talked yesterday because I called her after her video started taking off. I talked to her for so long, I almost forgot to do today's show. I got off the phone with her like, oh shit, I forgot I still got today's show to run. But the ultimate point I'm saying is this. 2.5 months on YouTube, she just went from 200 to 1,600 in 2.5 months, not even 90 days on YouTube. And my sister said to me, she was like, you be dropping so much jewels on content creating, and don't nobody in the chat be listening. She was like, but I do, nigga.
Bang! Bang! It's good!
Leave it alone. Salute to Grown Folk Talk. Already done hit, I say it was 1,200 yesterday. Now she up to 1,600. I just checked this a second ago. So keep grinding. All right, let's get it. I saw her Kevin Samuels video. Oh yeah, no doubt, man. She doing the shit the right way. Like, the way I told you motherfuckers to do it, but to the content creators, that is. But y'all don't be listening, and that's fine. She did. The person I really care about does. So let's get back to it, man. Let's get back to it. She right. Oh yeah, no doubt. She makes good content, man. Good content, and it's authentic. She ain't on here on some. Oh hey, let me try to do my thing, and let me try. You know what I'm saying? I can pander. No, she being honest. She being honest as fuck on that shit. So let's get into it. Shannon Sharp should be South Carolina. Oh yeah. That's good. Alboski sent me a fire one, bro. Fire one, Project Leroy. You're gonna like it too. It's fire, but I keep forgetting to put it out there. So let's get it started. Skip. You guys are stupid. Yeah, man. She came in swinging, man. She came in swinging. And she did, I'm tired of giving y'all free game. She did the one thing I told y'all to do. Focus on making videos, nothing else. And there you have it. I'm going to leave it alone. All right, let's get back to it. Oh, yeah, congrats, no doubt. Yo, Theo, she was going in on, oh, yeah. She was going in. I could tell. Yesterday, I saw the video, bro, and I was like, oh, yeah, she going in. But I could tell that's one of the things when you start the content creating and then you get stupid people leaving you dumbass comments, and I think she's starting to get that shit. Yeah, she felt the type of certain way, but she funneled it good, bro. So all right, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. Oh, you want both? Yeah. Oh yeah, I got you, bro. I ain't forgot about you. Let's get to it. So we got the Dr. Umar conversation with Daily Wrap Up crew. I see some people saying that they aren't fans of Dr. Umar. Be that as it may, that's going to be the main. But what I got is Sports Bag Progress. If you're moving to Florida, leave your liberal politics in the sewer. You're leaving. That's random, but okay. Okay, let's see. Y'all in these comments. But I talked about the video the other day that a lot of people hadn't saw, and that was the Myron from Fresh and Fit. So before we get to Dr. Umar, y'all can see him going full Klansman, and this is courtesy of Sports Talk. Sports Talk's another content creator. I'm subscribed to his channel. I'll watch some of his content. I need to watch more of it. But yeah, let's get to it, man. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. We can get it cracking. Let's see. Which video? I think it's gonna be full screen.
You fucking monkeys, you're really mad because we destroyed you guys in this rap. I but preach are a bunch of and I'm here to make fun of the blacks. Let's go, motherfucker! Woo! Let's go! I'm a preacher.
Oh, SP is in the building.
Bang! Bang! It's good!
Grown folk talk. She says, "What's up, SP?" Keep grinding, B. Keep grinding, man. I told y'all, man. I told y'all. I'm not going to repeat the thing I told y'all 1,000 times because if my sister heard it, y'all heard the shit. But she applied it. Y'all keep live streaming once a month and see how that works out for y'all. Back to it.
We destroy you bitch-ass niggas! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
What's good, Bella? Southfield, I see you. Oh, so y'all don't know. Well, Woku, you might just walked in. Everybody, we was talking about. Let's see, bro. Hold on for a second. Dude said, "Bro, your laugh is straight cringe." That dude, yeah, that's funny. I've never heard that. I've always heard the opposite, which tells me if 99 people tell me the other, you likely just a hater. But we'll leave you alone for a second. Let's see. What was I saying? Yeah, Woquill said, what is this? So this is this guy's name is Night Talk. He has a channel like 300,000 subscribers, something like that. I see you, Jermaine Reese. And this is the clips from Myron going straight Klansman on Sneako's broadcast on Rumble a couple weeks ago. He's reviewing that because, this is the quick version of that shit.
So just caught wind of Myron from Fresh and Fit going crazy on the feed on Rumble, but like the video is so wild that I can't post it on YouTube, bro.
I'm gonna hide him.
I can't post it, dog. And
hold on, we got out here this dude, that dude. We just got you out of here, bro.
Access denied.
Fuck out of here. Who is this dude?
It's got to do with all this beef and bickering back and forth between Fresh and Fit and Abba and Preach. You know what I mean? They've been going back and forth for forever. Like, whatever. I'm sure a lot of y'all know that, man. But, dog, bruh, like, do I even want to highlight the shit on my channel, bruh? But, like, I feel like I need to, just for the simple fact that, like, the most glaring thing to me is that, is with as much influence that Fresh and Fit got, folks look at them as role models. You know what I mean? And to see someone with the amount of influence that they have talk the way that they can talking, bro. So I say all that to say, of course, I've been Preach have addressed the feed. Come to find out, they've addressed the video that I'm talking about, and they got to edit it up. So, and I ain't get through the whole shit, bro. Cause I was trying to do a reaction to it, but I stopped because I can't. It's too much editing. I cannot bleep out all the shit that was said on the video. So I'm assuming Abba and Preach have done that here in this video. So it give me a chance to see what all was said, bro. But this shit is wild.
I didn't realize that when Fresh and Fit put out that live stream and said they were going to nuke our channel, they just ended up nuking their own. I don't know why Myron did this, but he decided to go on Sneako's live stream on Rumble.
Let's see if Pearl, so you have to wear that too?
Yeah, of course. How am I going to break this down if I'm not in my proper attire as a race?
Bro.
All right, can you move over a little bit?
Okay, moving over.
Fucking change.
You see out of that, you fucking sand nigga?
What? It's okay.
White supremacist.
Maybe they're gonna blow up that screen.
Sand nigga.
Shut up. You're bro. You're the worst. The worst.
Let me move this Cash App thing. But yeah, if y'all don't know, yeah, this shit was just weird. Abba and Preach and Fresh and Fit's been beefing for a while now. That shit died for a minute, but then Myron just went off on a rant recently. And let me try to move this shit out the way. They got this on this little bitty screen. And yeah, he just went the fuck off on some weird shit that kind of showed you exactly what type of dude he is. And like I said, I used to like some of his content, but this shit is just bizarre, bro.
You eat dogs and you kill people as a black guy. And an Asian.
Yeah, true.
Hold on, pause right. This nigga right here is funny. He's funny, this nigga.
I don't condone this N-word.
Oh.
Shut up, you Albanian fat. Keep running the clip, you chink.
Thanks for the tip.
Keep running the clip. Who's that weird nigga that can't speak? Who's that? He black as hell. Bate man. Yeah, let's keep going.
I fucking preach. We're those for fun.
Holy shit, who's this gay nigga here with the red? What the fuck is going on? What incarnation fucking pussy shit is that? I know that preach nigga.
Mad respect to minorities. What the?
Oh, Alboski, don't worry about it. Dude, it's just some random troll, bro. Ain't no big deal. Cujo says Fresh and Fit wasn't getting pussy in high school. Facts, bro. Facts.
Bang! Bang! It's good.
A lot of people say that, like, you know, that's a good insult. Is that, oh man, you wasn't getting none. But I think these guys definitely, Fresh and Fit, are definitely dudes who channel blew up, and you can tell that's how they would get access to like a lot of women, and that's fine. But the issue is, man, like I said before, I know Myron is from the Middle East somewhere. He black, but his people is from the Middle East. I said Haitian. Fresh is actually from Barbados. Somebody let me know. So they're both so they both come from immigrant families, but they both have clear, distinct issues with being black themselves. I knew that because when they was dropping, they made the comments, wow, like they don't mess with Shaniquas and they don't mess with black girls. And you could tell Myron would get pissed off whenever he was dealing with like a rowdy black chick opposed to just a rowdy, chick of another color. Like I said, I knew they had issues. I tend to I still rock with their content because I like the way Myron speaks on relationships, but I realize about myself, I can't do that as a content creator because people is fuck niggas. You can't have them on your channel, bro, because you're in one way or the other are associating with yourself and you saying that type of behavior is acceptable. And yeah, well, cool. I think I responded back to you. Yeah, I did it. They actually had a really good conversation with Tommy Sotomayor, which was my first time really watching Tommy. I know Tommy was on YouTube forever. I just never checked out his content. It was a pretty good conversation. Let's get back to it.
Stop! What? I want to get another run.
Facts.
There right now. He punched there, probably swinging around eating some bananas. Fucking stupid bitch. Preach is crying right now, swinging from a monkey branch, eating a banana, playing some Donkey Kong on an N64 because he's a stupid prick. He's a window licking stupid nigga.
What?
What?
Fat ugly white.
Hey.
Oh, that spin. I like that. I like that.
This video that
we got these niggas running like it's an employment line.
What the
What?
That's
Don't do
crazy,
that. We'll
bro.
find you.
Like, that's crazy, dog. I'm assuming Myron's owning the racist label that Abba and Preach have given him from previously, dog. But regardless of how jokes this is supposed to be, dog, bro, this shit is on the internet for everybody to fucking see.
And it's not funny,
but you know the ironic thing about it is that, like, Abba is calling this shit the end of Fresh and Fit, but this ain't gonna be the end of Fresh and Fit. It's gonna make them bitches that much more bigger because that's how toxic society is, bro.
And if they would have not only that, if he would have did the whole, because he did the shit when he had the fake braids and was running around, he did that on YouTube, I believe. But if he would have did that Klansman shit that he did with Fresh and Fit, if he would have did that on YouTube, I think that would have got their channel taken down. I think someone said they end up getting suspended from YouTube for like a week because of that, which I didn't know. I was wondering how that was going to affect them because it didn't happen on YouTube. It happened on Rumble. But it sounds like YouTube still made them sit down for a week. But I think if he would have did that shit that he did on Sneeko, if he would have did that on his podcast, I think YouTube would have shut their channel down. I could be wrong.
All they fans just fucking look at everybody writing W in the fucking the live stream, dog.
Fucking stinky looking piece of shit, you go fucking fat right here. I don't like you already.
I don't know how you guys did it, but you guys made a more embarrassing response than H2H3 by like a long mile.
Never ever compare that Myron dude to them fucking Jews, you motherfucker.
Whoa.
And here's the thing. What is Sneeko? Because Sneeko ain't white. It just amazes me, man. It's just shit amazing. What y'all know what race is Sneeko? I don't know. I don't even know this dude. I've just always seen him like he's popular or whatever, like most of these people. Yeah, and I don't even rock with Abilene Priest like that, to be honest, but that's a different story for a different day. But
thanks for the tip.
I can tell who's, obviously in the right about the situation. Me and JR Wisdom been saying this about dude for over a month now. Oh yeah, salute to JR, bro. I used to rock with a lot of, I still subscribe to his channel. I don't check out his content nearly as much, but yeah, I used to rock with JR heavy, man, before I started my channel. These are the types of dudes that when I was in grade school, I kept the nose bleeding, says Dan Dizzle. Facts, bro. Salute to you, EJ. He says, fresh and fit, puss out on the fade with Abilene Priest. Facts, bro. I remember that because, yeah, they had a whole bunch of drama. Fresh and fit, I forget how did that shit start, but I know they went at Fresh's wife, and it turned out not even to be Fresh's wife. And then, but before they even let that be known that that wasn't even his wife, was it Preach? I'm trying to remember everybody's name. Preach called him up, and then neither one of them wanted to Preach. He said, I'll fight you, and then right after that, I'll fight you. And neither one of them motherfuckers wanted that shit, bro. So it's all lame, man. I think, yeah, like I said, I'm not even the biggest fan of Abba and Preach. I think I rock with some of the stuff they say. I don't like their opinions. I don't like these two opinions on black racism in America when you motherfuckers are Canadian. And the same shit I see when I see playback. The same two dudes is up in Canada, even though I think they're in the States now. But I get a pass because they're a little bit younger. But I don't like them speaking on shit because they don't know about it. The same way I don't know what it's like being black up in fucking Montreal. That's just my opinion. But Sneeko is a clown. Yeah. Appreciate you, Eric Jordan. Let's see if I missed one more.
Thanks for the tip.
SP says he knew better than to do it on YouTube, and it's funny he did it on someone else's channel. Now, exactly, bro, exactly. But like I said, but I was wondering, SP, if there was going to be some effect to it, and they said they got suspended for a week, which is still a big deal for someone. I think they're well over 1 million subscribers now, man.
Thanks for the tip.
What you got, TP? This is a ninja moment. Stay out of this. Man, I'm just playing the video. I don't care about neither one of these motherfuckers, man. I don't care about neither one of all four of these dudes, man. I don't care about neither one of them. And I ain't worried about these motherfuckers coming at me about the shit. Hell no, I ain't worried about that shit. Let's see. Salute to, appreciate you, TP. Sneaky is Mongolian. She's stupid. Let's see. Sneeko on I seen one of his street interviews. I did see one of those before, and it was pretty dope. But like I said, I never watched his content. Sneeko's on the street interviews were dope. His streaming content is weird. Okay, yeah. See, I've never sat back and thought about it. All right, let's get back to it. Sneeko is mixed with. Okay, yeah, I was always curious about that, man. Sneeko is mixed with Asian and black, I think, because I can look at him like you ain't no white dude, man. So that's what anybody who look like they got color in them who just be rocking with this racist. I'm like, dog, they talking about you too, you motherfucker. But hey, man. But I think that's that acceptance and thinking I'm not black, I'm OJ, but let's get back to it. Fresh is married. I don't believe either one of these people are married. I think Preach is. I know Preach has been married since he was like a teenager or some shit. But I doubt Fresh. I doubt Fresh is.
Is this a character?
This is not
I was
representative.
born this way, you chick. Keep going, chick.
No, I don't think they do. So
you damn right there, high value man. They say more lives than your monkey asses have. What the fuck you niggas doing? Y'all sitting there in that tight ass room. I'm sitting next to a fucking monkey with dreads for a decade. You niggas to do now, but see, ooh, you same shitty fucking camera for a damn decade. Same shitty road mic right there that looks like a penis forever. You guys have not proved nothing, and you fucking niggas, millionaires, not invested back in the business, get called out by a fucking KKK member out of Tennessee. You motherfuckers are losers. I'm roasting y'all right now.
And the shit is not even funny, bro. Like, it's just cringe. And this motherfucker, Myron them got to be like 30 now, because I remember they used to clown Preaching Abba, because I think Preaching Abba is around 40, so they're like my age, and I think they younger. I think they around like the 30th age. Like, this is not even funny, bro. Somebody else was saying this. I don't know. I'm not familiar with like cokeheads. I only know crackheads. But a lot of people were saying in chat, it was like, yeah, how much coke did Myron do before this? So I don't know if he was coked up. I'm not familiar with those tendencies. Unfortunately, I'm only familiar with weed heads and crackheads.
Continue on, Ching.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, how was this supposed to be a clapback though, bro?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, how is this supposed to be a clapback, dog? Well, with all the shit I've been preach have said, bro, they never had this fucking energy, man. Regardless if you agree with the shit they say or not, bro, they say shit and they try to justify it that way the way they see fit. You know what I mean? But it's always an objective stance or viewpoint on some issue they take with Fresh and Fit, bro. This shit here is just some childish, immature ass bullshit, man. And for some motherfucker to be out here representing the manosphere and try to empower men, and you gonna have men that look up to you, look at you as a role model, and see you out here moving this way, bro, that's terrible, dog. That's terrible, bro. Like, you ain't no fucking comedian. You are a male, what do they say? They have the #1 male empowerment podcast, right? And you up here doing this dumb shit.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right, he was.
Kindergarten, dog.
He was, Jay. I forgot about that. You were 100% right. I'm mistaken. He was married.
That nigga sound like he got a 39 IQ. Holy shit. I don't know how this guy preachers take it seriously. Like, this nigga is fucking stupid. Say Albanian yesterday said something about, shut the fuck up, you fucking. You stupid nigga. Not showing the women that y'all are with not one time. Last time I checked, that Myron nigga got like 3 or 4 girlfriends, okay? And they're friends with each other.
Or they would hurt our fan base. But if you're secure in who you are.
No, your fan base is a bunch of low IQ feminists that can't take it when you get fit. What does he do? He actually gets fresh and, most importantly, fit. That fresh fit nigga helping everybody get in goddamn shape.
This guy is totally unhinged.
See,
what do you mean? What do you mean I'm unhinged?
And look at the white dude. And I don't know who he is. I know he's some other asshole, but I see him on the clip of Fresh and Fit saying some more racist shit, so he don't get a pass either. But look at these. Even these other motherfuckers are like, nope, staying away from him. It's just like Just Pearly, because I believe Just Pearly is in on this interview as well. I believe this is the interview where like she slides out of the camera, because I don't know if they're gonna show it here in a second, because Myron just went full Klansman.
He's scaring his homeboys he with. How the fuck you take it too far on Rumble? Free speech. How the fuck you take it too far on there, bro? I'm really anxious to see. Well, it's not gonna do anything to their channel, bro. It's not gonna do anything to them, which is the sad part. I mean, it's not the end of nothing. It's gonna be the blow up from them.
Cross burnings. And here's the thing, I'm gonna continue to roast them. They're gonna sit there and say, okay, let's fucking go. 10 toes down. I will roast you motherfuckers until the end.
So it's okay for you to be racist as long as you're roasting them for calling you racist.
But he's not even roasting them no night. He just talking some bullshit. It's not funny. It's not enlightening. He's not, he got him. He just talking some shit. He's saying all the shit that the white people said to him growing up.
All right.
Yeah, I think I caught a little. That was a little hardcore. It was a little hardcore even for me.
I'm glad you didn't show up in a white hood, Nick. That would have optics, you know?
I was gonna do the MAGA hat, but it wouldn't go as hard as the white hood. So
Nick, your followers are going to Myron now. You got competition.
Look at this shit. This is the Nick Fuentes. This is the person that Pearly interviewed the first time. So you got the white supremacist, Pearly, 2 white supremacists, and even them, look at them, even the white supremacists like, hey, bro, you're going way too far, bro. That should tell you something. If the white supremacists are looking at your black ass like, hey, boy, you might want to calm. Dude, what is this, bro?
Sure, both of you guys are, it's like I'm being outdone.
The thing about it, I mean,
I believe this too.
I'm not inside the head of every black man. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't be able to achieve like the accuracy from a KKK member's perspective.
Exactly.
Especially roasting another black man. I wouldn't be able to come up with the words. You know what I mean? Regardless of how much I tried to imitate it, it wouldn't be able to come off as accurate as Myron pulled it off, bro. Like you got to be racist to talk that way. I don't know. It's something going on under the weeds with Myron, dog. That motherfucker, he got some demons, bro. He got some demons. Bro.
I said it, man. Myron and I think they both got it. Myron might be a little bit worse than Fresh, though. Because you know what? But I just thought about this. Myron also has because he's from Sudan, so he probably also has the Arabic, the Middle Eastern. He probably got the Middle Eastern racist shit coming to America on top of being black. He got some demons, racist demons.
You got Myron leading the dissident right now.
Yeah, it's a couple of the
You know it's rough when Nick Fuentes think you did too much.
Albanian and a black guy gonna out.
Goes to show how things have changed. Because I remember when Dave Chappelle did the Clayton Bigsby shit back in the day, it was fucking hilarious. But nowadays you do that shit, they're like, oh my god,
nigga, you not Dave Chappelle, bro. You are not a stand-up comedian. You're a podcaster, bro. What are you talking about, man? Jesus Christ.
Just goes to show how pussified we've become.
Nah, motherfucker. No, it's different when your ass is like sincere in who you roasting, bro. You know what I mean? Like Dave Chappelle's trying to make a harsh reality a laughable moment, turning pain into comedy, bro, to bring some joy to motherfuckers, bro. What your ass is doing is trying to roast motherfuckers with this racist ass connotation towards it. It ain't fucking funny. I mean, of course it's gonna be funny to some motherfuckers because it's just motherfuckers is different, dog. Motherfuckers is different, bro. And on top of the fact that I've been preachers never had that type of energy with you, bro. It's always been like on some man to man shit, or they got an issue and they tell you why they got the fucking issue, and then it is what it is. But to fucking do the low blows on some immature ass childish shit,
it's some childish shit,
and putting this racist ass undertone, not an undertone, this racist ass delivery towards it, bro. It's a whole different ball game, dog. Like you trying to fucking minimize it and say it's comedy. No, the fuck it's not. No, the fuck it's not, bro. No, the fuck it's not. That shit ain't fucking funny.
Donkey Kong photo, I can conclude that he's also a monkey.
Okay. All right.
Like, bro, I'm ready.
And it's like, get the energy. Since I'm black, I can say it. Nah, fam. No, you can't, bro. Like, something wrong with you, dog. Something clearly is going on, bro.
Like Bella Ring says here, Myron is showing whose value system he aligns with. At the end of the day, to them, you and it too. Absolutely. But like you said, it's their fan base. Because there's no way that a sensible person can rock with Fresh and Fit after this. But because you got them same people who agree with your statements, them same people who the majority of them are Caucasian, are in there like, yep, ding, 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 ding. This is what I like to hear, dub. Like, dude, because they just fucking racist, man. And then you're going along with their line of thinking, bro.
Like,
what are you
want
doing?
To go here and say, you're Myron, cool.
Oh, absolutely cool.
The fucking Arab guy that's also black that literally, like, I hit so many different check marks for the KKK. Y'all want to call me racist? Cool. Now, let's fucking do it.
Hey, guys, when we speak,
everyone... Like confusing. You want to call me racist? Okay, I'm going to be a real racist now. You're not addressing it. You're that goddamn, you're assuming people are going to just believe you're not racist because of the color of your skin. But no, it's clearly fucking black racists out here. And something got to be going on when you can talk to another black man that way.
Raise your hand.
No.
Raise your hand.
No.
So we take turns.
No.
SP.
No, not you.
No. Kidding. I can't do it. Yeah.
Look at that. Even the white supremacist pearly ass like, oh, let me get the hell out of here. Nick Fuentes is like, no, this is too much racist for me. What? Hey, bro.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
When you make the racists get uncomfortable, bro.
What
are we doing here?
I heard that some of y'all were raising the salute, so I decided to come back.
Let's go. Poor Steve.
Fuentes is hyped for this shit, bro. That's crazy, dog. That's crazy, bro.
Pearl rolls out. Oh, come on.
No.
We're down. Let's go.
No.
Let's go. We're down for whatever.
Let's do it.
Honestly, when he started speaking about black women in the past, I'd always suspected he had negative emotions or feelings about black people.
I did
about the black dating app called Black. It's funny, I never used that one, bro, but hey, man.
I mean, hey, bro, if you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, go for it, man.
LaQuisha.
Yeah, like me and Fresh aren't really down with the brown like that. We ain't night riders.
Nah,
so
Night Rider. That's what they call it. He called them Night Riders. I forgot about that.
Sometimes if they're red bone, but like in general,
God,
me and Fresh
damn,
dabble
bro. Like it's one thing to just not be attracted to him, but to like just talk shit like that, bro. Night Riders, down with the brown. A bunch of Shaniquas, bro, like labeling all black folks as just in this negative way, bro. Like, bro, that's where you come from. That's your fucking, you got that in your bloodline, dog. All right, fine. You're attracted to me and trying to like wife them, but I don't mean you gotta just talk shit. It's just terrible, bro. That's fucked. Look like that's all Abba got on this video from that damn live feed, bro. That live stream. I would tell y'all motherfuckers to tap in, but y'all ain't trying to get that shit no fucking views. I low key feel a type of way from covering on my motherfucking channels. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this shit, man. But like I feel like it needs to be posted, bro, because well, I mean, it don't fucking matter at the end of the day. It really does not fucking matter. If the motherfucker had the balls to fucking post it, he knows what's gonna happen from it. He's not worried about the goddamn backlash. And like I say, there's going to be no backlash. Sad reality. There's going to be no backlash. He's gonna get paid off of being a fucking KKK member, bro. It's crazy.
All right, cool. So that's the end of it. I just wanted to show that because a lot of people said they hadn't seen the video. That was my main reason for showing it, because a lot of people said they hadn't seen it. Let's see. Juice says being a federal agent, Myron probably was the dude that laughed with other white agents when they would do stuff like this in their presence. And I'll tell you this, bro. There's a picture I saw of him where you could obviously tell he was uncomfortable. It was a whole bunch of white dudes like had him like in a headlock. Man. I don't know. It's just growing up in Detroit is like you growing up in Detroit is like growing up in the D. But I also think that I prefer my I guess the way I grew up, because I grew up around all black people. And that's not to say like, but I saw black doctors. I had black dentists, teachers, like the mayor of Detroit was black for like 50 some years until a handful of years ago. Like I think that's just the environment that I grew up in, and that's why I kind of think I look at shit like that and like I could never be that type dude. I could never be like a puppet for white dude or be our mascot, because being in the military, obviously you can. Some brothers will fall into that shit all the time. Me, I wasn't having that shit, bro. So yeah, man. Let me grab these super chats and we get right to it. Again, I don't even care about this shit. I was just playing this video for the people who hadn't seen it yet. Salute to, and this is what makes black conservatives and Republicans demand to be joined the GOP looking stupid. This is what they. Don't even get me started, bro. I'm not even into politics, Sean Jackson. But yeah, that's what people. Oh yeah, come over to the conservative side. Yeah, we're not racist. Okay. Let's see. What is this job? What in the jive turkey am I watching? Salute. Thanks, bro. In general, I salute you. Appreciate you, H. Louise, for the super chat. All right, let's get to it, guys. It's one thing to lean into a villain. It's another to not be able to see what you were doing is damaging to yourself and brand. Great observation, Watch Gamer. And Myron seems like an intelligent dude. That's what people were saying. Maybe he was coked up, but he seems like an intelligent, like he's smarter than that. And then also the Abba and Preach shit. That shit was kind of over with, man. That shit was kind of over with, but he came back. If I'm mistaken, I could be remembering this inaccurately because I don't get paid to sit around and watch Fresh and Fit and Abba and Preach and remember all their drama, but I believe it was over. And then Fresh just came back on some doubling down bullshit. I could be wrong. I could be remembering that incorrectly. Aaron messed up, said it's hilarious that they shoot themselves in the foot by clapping back at Abba and Preach. Self-sabotage. I think their view account significantly dropped after this stunt, man. If it didn't drop out, it likely stalled out, because and this is another thing as well. A lot of people don't make content. So what happens is people get fooled by the subscriber count. Because this one person, whenever we talk about Pearly, they be in the chat, they always come in caping for Pearly, talking about how Pearly subscribers has grown and all this kind of shit. But it's like, dude, if you look at her video numbers, her viewership, and another one is, salute to that dude named Dave, he's talking about King Riches, bro. His shit in the tank, bro. And it's about, so my whole thing is that I think a lot of people, especially if they don't make content, they'll look at your subscriber count and see that it's kind of the same, but they don't know about the back end, the analytics, which there's actually tools and websites you can look at and you can see anyone's YouTube performance. Like, there's websites for that. But a lot of people just see that and they're like, oh, just Pearly or Fresh and Fit. Oh, yeah, they're still going. But, dude, I'm telling you, look at King Riches, bro. He got videos that's out for weeks, 75,000 subscribers, can't even get 1,000 views on a video, bro. But anyway, let's get to it. Make sure I didn't miss any more. Let's see. Salute to you, Cujo. He says, I'm going to their channel and I'm hitting this like button on everything. Y'all get the likes up over here, though. Bang! Bang! It's good! Cujo, my God, man. Appreciate you, man. That's funny. That's funny, man. All right, let's get to it, guys. So this is the Dr. Umar Johnson Daily Wrap-Up Crew conversation that they actually had two-part conversation. And if you guys let me know, we can rock with part 2, or if not, Project Leroy and anybody else who fans of Jason Black, I chopped up his broadcast from the other night when he was talking about, men just letting their women, I can't remember how he titled it, but basically dealing with men married to like reckless women just out here wilding. And he had an interview with a dude at the end. I call him the beta husband. And this dude, man, I was like, we gotta play this call. So you guys let me know my thoughts overall on Umar Johnson. I think Umar Johnson is great as an orator, giving us history on black people and the things that's happened to us. And I love his conversations when it comes, black people. And I don't agree with everything because I think he's saying like, I think all gay people he said are like, gay people aren't born their way. They're all like something happened to them, which I don't believe is accurate. I don't believe that's accurate at all. But I agree with a lot of the stuff he say. Now, as far as the school and all that kind of shit, if you've been taking people money for 10, 15 years and you ain't built a brick yet, don't have a school up yet, you're obviously scamming at some point. But other than that, I don't think I have any beef with him. But we'll see. Because I have blind reacted to this. I'm blind reacting to this interview. I have not watched it yet. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button and let's get it cracking.
You're fucking monkeys. You're real.
Yeah, I don't want to start that shit. Yeah, let's get you off my screen, sir. You as well, Jesus. You imagine that every time you open your screen, you goddamn monkey. Talk about a horrible way to start the show. Jesus Christ. Hit the like button, y'all. Appreciate you, Bellarings. We got 50 people watching for free. Can I get 25 likes? Can we get that to 128, please? Thank you very much, Bellarings. Please, Bellarings, drop your link. And as well, somebody could drop the link to the homie PA, Texas as well. Salute to you, 10 Plus Sounds. Great to have you, bro. I'll send something your way here momentarily. All right, let's get to it, guys. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Let's see. All right. Dr. Umar, Daily Wrap-Up Crew. Again, blind reaction.
Got my good brother right here, who's an advocate, and he says that you can be pro-black and date outside.
Impossible. You cannot. Marriage is a business. When you get married, you commit your mind, your body, your heart, your soul, and your pocketbook, your savings, your estate, your wealth. You commit that to that person you're married to. See, when you marry, you don't marry an individual. You marry into a race. You marry into a community. So I didn't marry a Jewish woman. I married into Jewish society. I didn't marry an Asian woman. I married into an Asian family. There's no way you can claim to love black people, especially as a black man, knowing that only 1 out of every 4 black women will get married in her lifetime. We have the lowest female marriage rate in the country, 25%. That means 75% of black women will never, ever know what it feels like to be proposed to.
Yeah, this is part 1. Terrence T. Morant just
my
subscribed.
crew, Dr. Umar too. And if you don't like, share, subscribe, 100 lashes for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
And Daily Wrap-Up Crew, I've tried to react to a couple of their videos. The ones I react to have always been like, after I recorded it, I'm like, this is kind of okay. So I don't really have an opinion on them as well. I've seen a bunch of their clips go viral. I would see them interviewing women, but I can tell they're still new. I can tell that, and that's the other thing I've learned about content creation is when people are new, it takes time learning how to do this. So your first 100 videos, if you're going to be doing interviews in their case, they're going to suck because you're still learning this. So that's my opinion on them as well. I saw some clips of them that were good, but they were talking to women, and they just let those women just over-talk them and shit like that. And I was like, this some young boys / y'all got to get better with y'all content creating and putting these women in check if they're going to be on your show being disrespectful. Well, other than that, I don't have any opinion on them. They seem like decent enough people. Let me know if y'all rock with their content.
Keep prepared,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, yo, y'all was brainstorming.
I had to. I had to write today. You know, Umar was pulling up.
Listen, man, we got special guests in the building. We got the Prince of Pan-Africanism, King Kong Consciousness. So y'all know the man. Dr. Umar Johnson.
Glad to be here, fellas. Thanks for inviting me.
And real quick, can you let the folks know that sleeping under a rock that might not know who you are?
Absolutely. Dr. Umar Ifatunde, certified school psychologist, doctor of clinical psychology, founder of the National Independent Black Parent Association, Team Pan-African, the international movement for the independence and protection of African people. I'm probably most known for helping black parents learn how to protect their children from the special education crisis in the ADHD to prison pipeline, author of 2 books, Psychoacademic Holocaust, The Special Education and ADHD Wars Against Black Boys, as well as Black Parent Advocate, The Art of War, for dealing with America's public and charter schools. I'm also a Pan-Africanist, a Garveyite, and I'm currently putting the finishing touches on the first school in American history to be funded exclusively by the African diaspora, and that is the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. If all goes well, we'll probably be having our community grand opening during Kwanzaa 2023.
Listen, before we get into these topics, you gotta make sure we get an invite, man, so we can pull up.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Before we get into these topics, make sure you hit that like button.
Hit the like
subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Join the YouTube membership, man. We got some exclusive behind-the-scenes footage, access to early episodes, and then cop the merch, man. DailyRapRecruit.co, man. Make sure y'all go support. Listen, let me get to this first.
I ain't got no shirt for me.
Oh, definitely do.
We definitely got
Definitely
shirts
do.
for you.
2XL, don't give me no bra.
I told you.
You
See,
yeah, you did.
I did.
say
You
that.
know what I'm saying? I appreciate it.
Listen, get into this first topic, right? I know you're very big with the Pan-African community. What is your ultimate goal that you have in mind for the overall Pan-African community?
Great question. The vision, the mission, the goal of Pan-Africanism is to unite all African people globally into one unified and organized system through which we can protect ourselves politically, economically, socially, culturally, spiritually, academically, so forth and so on. So unity is the foundation and independence is the elevation. That's the goal of Pan-Africanism, to make sure African people are not dependent upon members of other races in order to protect our lifestyle, our culture, and most of all, the destiny of our children. Do for self is the heart and soul of Pan-Africanism. So when we win, we will be in charge of our lives. We will control the banks. We will control the hospitals. We will control the criminal justice system. We will control the economy. We basically want a parallel world that is under our authority, because whoever controls your institutions controls your life.
Oh, what that
Got
is.
you. So the big word that I heard was, unity, right? So what is your overall thoughts? Obviously, you can see that we have this gender war going on, this diaspora war going on. What's your thoughts on those overall wars that's going on within the Pan-African community?
I would not be surprised if we learned 20, 30 years from now that the domestic gender war was inspired by the FBI. Just as the FBI gave birth to COINTELPRO back in the 70s and 60s to disrupt and destroy the credibility and success of Black liberation movements, I could very well see where COINTELPRO or something similar to it could have also been invented to turn the Black woman against the Black man and the Black man against the Black woman. If you look at this, it looks just like COINTELPRO, except it's not Stokely Carmichael fighting Huey P. Newton. It's not Dr. King, and Malcolm having differences. You understand? It's you and your baby's mother having differences. It's you and your fiance having differences. It's you and your wife having differences. And the family is an institution, no different than SNCC, no different than CORE, no different than the Panthers, no different than the Garvey movement, no different than the Freedom Riders. So I'm keeping an eye on it, but I really do believe that at some point we're going to find out that the U.S. government had a hand in the gender wars and the promotion of it, because I don't think it's a coincidence that this Black male versus Black female gender war is being initiated at the very same time that the U.S. government is pushing transgenderism on elementary Black public school children. So is that a coincidence that while you're trying to disintegrate the Black family through non-traditional forms of life, through Black on Black crime, through police genocide, through poor nutrition, poor healthcare, all these weapons, the Snow Bunny crisis, along with that, you see so many commercials now where it's the Black man with the white woman or the Black woman with the white man. Clearly there's an agenda to brainwash our children into either being with someone of the same sex or someone of another race. And I think the gender wars coming at this time plays into the hand of the government's agenda to destroy the Black community. On the other side, when we look at the diaspora wars, I think that's a CIA inspired situation. I wouldn't.
One is within the states and another one is international.
FBI doesn't have a charter to operate internationally. So if you want to disrupt locally, it's the FBI. CIA has no charter to operate domestically. So when the CIA interrupts, it's internationally. So the CIA is outside of America, FBI is inside of America. If you're a Pan-Africanist like the Honorable Marcus Garvey, El Haj Malik El Shabazz, Malcolm X, Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture, you're a Pan-Africanist, you're automatically going to be watched by the FBI domestically and the CIA internationally. And I think the diaspora wars plays right into the hand of America's foreign policy initiatives. There was a security memorandum that came out. I think it was in the late 70s, early 80s, where the U.S. government, in a private security memorandum that has now been published now, said the greatest threat to American foreign interests is what? The operational unity of Africans in America and Africans in Africa. This is the government. Our biggest threat is if we let the blacks on that side of the Atlantic Ocean organize.
This is a memo. This is a memo.
Oh, it's a memo. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I could probably get you the numbers. It's not on the top of my head right now. Absolutely.
Right.
Some people have even published it in books. It's definitely on the internet. People have referred to it. So they basically said, in essence, Pan-Africanism is our only problem. They don't care about nothing else. People pushing religions, people pushing socialism. They don't care about that. Pan-Africanism is the only threat to white supremacy.
So
that's crazy.
So what would you say about, obviously when we talk about the diaspora world, there's a sense of, African people or Caribbean people using the word, well, I'm not black, you know what I mean? I'm Caribbean or I'm African or whatever the case is. And they kind of associate negativity or negative stereotypes with Black Americans per se. And they feel like they don't want to identify as black because black usually is the term that Black Americans call themselves. So I don't want to be identified as black, so I am Caribbean. It's like they're separate people over there. You know what I mean? So what's your thoughts on that whole, that divide and just that whole blatant negative stereotype that some Africans or Caribbeans or other black people feel towards Black Americans?
Well, the white man's original tactic of divide and conquer, separate and rule is still his most cherished weapon against African people. You see, understandably, when people look at America up until now being, quote unquote, the most powerful country in the world, if you want to get down with the most powerful country in the world, you're going to have to despise who they despise. And since America has done such a great job despising African people, anybody who wants to come to this country, even if they are African, are going to seek somebody else's company other than ours, right? That doesn't make what they do right. But we have to look at the fact that we as African people in America haven't done a whole lot collectively to make ourselves the power base we should be for all African people. With our education, with our income, being the richest group of African people in the world in terms of take-home pay, we should be the power base for African people throughout the world. Y'all need institutions, we're going to fund them. Y'all have a problem with your water, we're going to fund that. You understand me? You got a medical crisis, we're going to take care of that. We have the resources, we got the personnel, we got the expertise, we got the money. We should be the power base. So when an African comes to America from outside of this country, they say, well, wait a minute now. If I align myself with the African American, what is in that for me? Because I don't even see the African American doing anything for themselves on a collective basis. We have success, but it's all individual, right? There's very few institutions that we run and control independently. Let's take it to Little League. When you go for the Little League football team or the basketball team, do you go try out for the team that's losing every year? Or do you want to be on the championship team? Most children want to be on the championship team. So when Africans from the diaspora come to America, they see two teams, the black team that has lost 157 straight Super Bowls since the end of slavery, right? And the white team that seem like they still winning and doing great. I want to align myself with the white team. Now, the mistake that Africans in the diaspora are making is that if you do not link up with us, your national homeland will never be free either. See, what they do to African people anywhere, they do to African people everywhere. So if you come from Nigeria, you come from Ghana, you come from Jamaica, you come from Turks and Caicos, you don't associate with African people, you go get you a snow bunny, move up on the west side, you can do all that. But understand, your life is only as sacred as white people allow it to be. At any minute, they can turn you into a Breonna Taylor, whether you have a U.S. passport or not. You've seen it happen here in New York City years ago with the Abner Louima and Amadou Diallo cases, where the police, abused African immigrants right here in New York City. So when it comes to white people, we're all African. They know who we are. But they will use one group against the other as long as it is in their best interest. And once they're done using that group, guess what they do to that group? They destroy them too. It's no difference than looking at the black community compared to black celebrities. They used Bill Cosby as long as they could. And when they no longer needed him, they turned on him. They'll use Whitney Houston as long as they could. When they no longer needed her, they murdered her. Michael Jackson, they murdered him. Prince, they murdered him. Jimi Hendrix, they murdered him. Kobe Bryant, they murdered him. You understand? So all of us are nothing but tools in the hand of white supremacy.
Hold up. How did somebody remind me how Jimi Hendrix died? I don't remember. Kobe died in a plane crash, but okay, maybe they murdered him.
We have to wake up from that nightmare, from that imaginary illusion of inclusion that has black people thinking, if I come to America, but stay away from African Americans, I'll be given probationary white status. You'll never be given probationary white status because you are not white. And when they're done using you for your intellectual knowledge, when they're done using you in the labor market, when they're done using you, helping to perpetuate the myth of a multicultural colorblind America, they'll bust you right back to the country you came from. All African people in America who are not practicing Pan-Africanism are simply tools that are being used that have an expiration date. And when your utility to the white power structure expires, you will too, and they will send you back home. And this is why they hate blacks in America so much. The white power structure. We're the only non-white people in the country who cannot be sent home. You cannot be deported. Slavery destroyed your cultural, psychological, and intellectual connection to your ancestral homeland. If the Ghanaian get on your nerve, he go back to Ghana. If the Puerto Rican gets on your nerves, he go back to Puerto Rico. If the Afro-Cuban gets on your nerves, he or she go back to Cuba, right? If the Chinese get on your nerves, send them back to China. If the East Indian gets on your nerves, send them back to India. If the Arab gets on your nerve, send them back to one of the Middle Eastern states. But when American Africans get on your nerves, where do you deport us to? You can't deport us. Slavery destroyed that connection that they needed in order to remove us. Most American Africans are so brainwashed, they think they're American. So you cannot deport them because this is what they identify with most. So in other words, the white man created his own problem, which makes it almost impossible to deport us. So the only way to get rid of us is a systemic system of racial genocide, and that's what they're using.
Condoleezza, this is poison to the ears and soul. Not if you listening. I mean, and I'm not trying to be funny to you because I can see some of you guys are like, oh, I can't stand him, and yada yada yada. I don't agree with some of his points. Like I just said, I was like, Kobe didn't get killed; he died in a accident. But be that as it may, I think a lot of you guys, I think what it is, because I can tell from the chat, if you guys don't like someone, you're not willing to listen to them whatsoever, and that's fine. Like I said, I don't agree with Umar as far as the not women not taking any blame. And I think my biggest thing with him is taking people's money and not building a school with it, obviously. That's the biggest problematic thing to me as well. But some of these things you're saying as far as that I do, and I agree with, specifically, is about people coming over here, especially Africans, already have the negative connotations about black folk before they come to America and wanting to distance themselves from us, even though we're all the same people. I definitely agree with that point of it. But I think a lot of you guys, and not just you specifically, Conley, I think a lot of people already have their mind made up, but I don't know. Oh, again, man, I'm one of those people that chew the meat, spit out the bones. If I don't really agree with that part, I'll just disregard it. But that doesn't mean I'm going to shut my ears and not be able to hear anything this man has to say. But that's just me.
So what do you think about people, because a conversation or argument that I have is with, some Africans or Caribbeans is that they would say that Black Americans don't have any culture, right? Or they'll say that racism doesn't exist because I was able to come from my country and I was able to be successful and provide for my family. Y'all just using racism as an excuse, to hold y'all back or whatever the case is. What's your thoughts on?
Well, number one, they're politically ignorant, socially inexperienced. They know very little about the experience of the American African. And they also don't understand racism. In order for racism to succeed, some blacks must be successful. You need a LeBron. You need an Oprah. You need a Tyler Perry. You need a Sean Carter. You need a Beyonce Knowles. You need a Sean Puffy Combs. You need a Robert Johnson. You follow? Why do you need successful black people if you want to destroy our black people? Because in order to brainwash the other ones into believing that your failure is not due to systemic discrimination, it's due to the fact that you're not intelligent enough or you're not working hard enough. Do you see that?
Right.
So if Dr. Umar is a billionaire and you've been trying to get your business off the ground, it ain't popped yet. You've been trying to get your corporation off the ground, it ain't popped yet. You didn't open up 10 business, they all didn't flop. You need me as the billionaire to come and say, fellas, it's not your fault. They designed the system to not work in your behalf. But because I love being rich and I love my proximity to white culture and lifestyle, I don't tell you it's not your fault.
I'm sorry, Sean Jackson, I agree with you. We need to at least hear him out. Like I said, I haven't even heard the interview yet, so I want to hear the brother out, man. But it's funny, man. Y'all entitled to your own opinion, man. Like I said, feel about it. But it's funny because I see people in the chat, he doing this, or some people saying, yeah, he talked, but what has he really done? The same shit can be said about you. The same shit can be said about you, my nigga.
Bang! It's good!
You know what I'm saying? Like, at least, I'll take it, at least I can learn something from him. Again, I don't agree with everything, but that's the thing. That's the thing people used to say about Kevin Samuels. I rock with him, but I don't agree with everything. No one should agree with everyone on everything. That's just how it be, man. But back to it.
There's a game.
I want to hear what he got to say. You can call him out if he's full of shit. He's full of shit.
Game set up, and there's only going to be a few Dr. Umars. I tell you, the problem is yours. Obviously, you didn't do your business plan right. Obviously, the reason why the bank didn't give you the business loan is because you didn't have your numbers right. Your credit wasn't high enough. You see that? And so the black millionaire and billionaire class is one of white supremacy's greatest arguments to defend itself against accusations of racism. Because Oprah Winfrey is not going to indict the system. LeBron James is not going to indict the system. You understand me? Tyler Perry is not going to indict the system because they made their money through the system. And because they're at the top of black society, they know how powerful white folks really are. They know how unfair the game really is. They know me being here is a privilege.
Well, Derek, talk about it, Derek, because I keep saying this, and if you're going to say these comments, I'm going to call you out on it. Even the devil is going to listen to. I see him slick talking, used car services. What is he slick talking about? Be specific. Ponisha Thompson, just subscribe. Salute. General, I salute you.
That white people gave me. Yes, I worked hard to get here, but I would never be here without their help. At the end of the day, all of our black millionaires and billionaires are owned by the white power structure. I don't say that to be disrespectful because I respect LeBron James, right? I appreciate the image of a black man with a black woman with black children who's never been in any trouble, entered the league at 17, 18 years old and never had a single scandal. He's a good example of a responsible black man. I like how Jay-Z came from Marcy Projects and now you're a billionaire the legal way. I like what Oprah did coming from nothing at Tennessee State. I like what Tyler Perry did coming from sleeping in his car to being a billionaire to owning the first all-black music studio, one of the largest in the country. Even white folk go to Tyler Perry Studios to film their movies. Part of Black Panther 2 was filmed at Tyler Perry Studios. So I appreciate their rags to riches story. The problem is they can't top it off with a cherry on top. And the cherry on top is to look the camera in the eye and say, I made it, but most of my people will never will because the system is not designed for black people to succeed. And this is how they get us. They'll promote a few blacks. Everybody else struggling, everybody else in poverty, everybody else coming out of prison, but they'll promote a few blacks, and because a few blacks made it, they're automatically supposed to mean that we are doing better. No other group you could push that on because every other group is based on collective group progress. Black people, we are totally rooted in selfishness and me-ism. We don't have we-ism like the Latinos, or we-ism like the Asians, or we-ism like the Anglo-Saxons, or we-ism like the European Jews. We have me-ism. And as long as we have me-ism, a few successful blacks automatically means y'all all must do better. Like I think I saw Jay-Z do an interview one time and they said, well, what have you done for black people? And he said something to the effect, and I don't want to misquote him, I'm paraphrasing. He said something like, me just being who I am
is enough for black people?
Is enough for black people. Most ridiculous, arrogant, ignorant statement I ever heard. But that's what black millionaires and billionaires feel. Because
I hope Hov didn't say that. I hope he's paraphrasing them incorrectly. I hope Hov didn't say that.
Because I've made it, I'm a benefit to my race. And it's that same ridiculous black bourgeoisie illogical thinking that ushered Barack Obama into the White House, who did nothing for black people but steal everything he worked for and give it to the gays, the immigrants, the Latinos, and white women.
A lot of people don't, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
No, I said, so what do you say about like selective people that selectively black, or they want to seem like they support black people? And you know, black people are like, we're forgiving to everybody, right? We always give opportunity.
Except each other.
Yeah, exactly. So how do we handle that? Or should we still be supportive? Or because
Give me an example of someone who's selectively black. Give me an example of.
Right.
Like people that like kind of pick and choose.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was saying that as far as like groups, different people. Okay, so like, let's bring even the reparations situation.
I bring somebody in here random. I don't know if he's ever claimed black, but Andrew Tate. Like, I was surprised when people were saying Andrew Tate is black. Like, his dad is actually black, because I didn't know Tate was from Chicago. I didn't know he was born here in the States. Yeah, that's just one. But I don't know. I was thinking about The Rock. Has The Rock ever claimed his blackness? Let's get back to it. That's just me.
So there's a lot of groups of people like people from Jamaica or people from the Caribbean. They're not black, but now they're hearing that reparations is a possibility. They want to be black now.
I would argue they are black.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue they are African.
But they're not, prior to that, they say I'm not black. You get what I'm saying?
I understand. Okay, I don't identify with y'all, but when there's a benefit to be obtained, I will.
Yes.
Temporarily, until I get what I need and just roll off the boat.
Exactly.
And that was my question, because isn't that a tether? Because I was confused about the tether thing. I'm thinking that's exactly the definition that I was looking for.
Okay. Anyone who is disingenuous about their membership in the African race should be rejected from it. I don't believe in part-time Africans, Half-Africans. I don't believe in opportunistically Africans, right?
Definitely.
Like what you're speaking of, selective Africans. If there's something that I can select that will be a benefit for me, I'll be African for a week, for a day, for a year until I get it, and then I'm not African no more. I reject all of them.
Okay.
Whether that's a Jamaican African or an American African.
Definitely.
Because you got black folks right here who are the offspring of our enslaved ancestors who don't identify as being black. For me, blackness is a two-pronged test. First of all, are you biologically African?
Definitely,
and are you psychologically African? So if I look at some of my Puerto Rican African brothers and sisters, or some of my Dominican African brothers and sisters, many of them are biologically black, but they do not psychologically identify with the race at all. Many do, but more often than not, they don't.
Shit, we see that right there with Myron from Fresh and Fit. Derek Gaines, this is a school thing for me, Theo. I saw a video where he got mad because a room full of people called him out. Roland Martin did the same thing on the show. Couple things that he's wrong, Derek. I mean, that's I'm with you. That's wrong as fuck for taking people's money and not doing what you're supposed to do. And he shouldn't be doing that shit, obviously. I also saw another video of a dude. I need to find that video when he pretty much was like trolling, not even trolling him. He was like, he was a fraud, and he like cashed at them $500. Then he met him at like a personal appearance, and then was like, "Hey, bro, I cashed at you." And so it was funny though. But yeah, man, then that's totally justified. As far as Roland Martin, I don't know. I saw the show with Roland Martin where Roland Martin and his cronies just tried to attack Dr. Umar, and they were just shit. When I'm sure y'all seen that one. That's probably Roland Martin's highest viewed video, and I seen Umar serve them all up because they was on some bullshit. So I get it. But like the biggest thing, man, Ryan B just said, eat the meat, spit out the bones. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for the tip.
I just got to think about people being like, people saying what other people aren't doing, or what they, I'm not saying you, Derek, but I have a problem when people say, hey, what other person is or is not doing. Hey, you such and such, he ain't doing enough, or he ain't do this. When it's like, enough said, salute, bro.
You general, I salute you.
And it's like, the people will make the accusations of such and such not doing something, but it's like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you actually doing besides playing in the chat room? You know, so that's more than anything. But I get you, bro. And everybody don't have to rock with everything. My main thing, spit out the meat, chew the bones. Like before the interview even started, people were like, man, he full of shit. Like, damn, I ain't even hit play yet. Salute to you, bro. Salute to you, Conley. He says, doing this like a super chat is how the money goes around and the support for the growth for each other. Oh yeah, no doubt. No. Oh yeah, absolutely, Conley. And that's one of the things I like about all these guys getting these spaces and helping each other out, helping each other grow, man, especially when it's, black people helping other black people. Appreciate you, bro. Let's see. Let's get back to it.
And so for the ones who do not identify, I don't accept. I don't believe in begging, pleading, or forcing people to be African. You follow what I'm saying?
Definitely.
It's an honor to be God's original people. It's an honor to have the strongest DNA. It's an honor to be the oldest people, the most creative people. It's an honor to be who we are. We're God's first children. We are the chosen people. So I'm not forcing nobody. If you think being ultra light skinned is a benefit, run with it. You understand? If you think speaking Spanish makes you better than black people speak English, you run with it. Or if you're an American Negro like Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, who goes out of your way to support the white power structure at the expense of African people, you run with that. You follow me? Anybody who wants out, I'm letting them out. Because the worst thing you can do is force a black person to be black when they don't want to be. Because the minute they get a chance to stab you in the back, they're going to do it 2 times. You follow me? So anybody who don't want to be, you're free to leave. And let's deal with the people who are 100% 24 hours a day unapologetic.
One question for you guys. Dusty Ninja, or anybody who's grew up around like Dominican people. I don't think I've ever met somebody who said, hey, bro, I'm from the Dominican Republic a day in my life. Again, I'm from Detroit, 80-90% black city, so we just a bunch of ninjas. But does anyone, is that true? That's my basic point. Project Leroy, somebody
inform me on this. I always hear this all the time about Dominican people saying they're not black, they're Dominican. And that has always fascinated me because I'm hoping that's just some shit people say on the internet, that there's not a true, authentic mentality. I think that I'm incorrect, though. So anyone with some experience with Dominican people, please let me know how accurate that is. I want to get back to it. I just always been curious about that. I'll shut up.
You say this to our aunties, our grandmas. They gonna forgive them. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, let them back in. You get what I'm saying?
But the issue...
But don't you
well,
think?
Well, let me go back. Let me take a step back. For me, this should only be one reparations movement anyway.
Good.
I don't support the tribalistic approach to reparations, where the American Africans got their own fight, the Caribbean Africans got their own fight, the continental Africans got their own fight, the Australian Africans got their own fight, the Brazilians got their own fight, Central American Africans, We all came from one place, one place, and it should be one organized system for reparations. The reason we don't have a global approach to reparations is because everybody favors the tribe over the race. And that is why Pan-Africanism is so revolutionary, because we're the only ones to say that being African is more important than being a Jamaican. Being African is more important than being an American African, a descendant of a slave. Being African is more important than being a Brazilian. Until you elevate the family above your nationality, then we'll never get what we need.
Bro, I get...
Bang! Bang! It's good!
Say what you want, man, but I agree 1,000% with that shit, man. 1,000%. We shouldn't be trying to separate ourselves, man. We all African. And I admit it, probably 10, I don't know, maybe 10. Yeah, to me, the moment for me was when Trayvon Martin got killed. That's when my eyes opened. And I might have been, I don't even remember what year that was, but that was when my eyes really got open to that shit, because I'll admit it, I think I just fall under the same, I don't want to say sorcery, but the same mentality. At one point, I just thought I was American, man. Like, I never looked at it. Like, I always thought it was weird that we had the African-American term, because I always look at it as a way to downplay you being American, because you only hear African-American and Asian-American and Latino-American. But the white folks are just American. So I always used to have a problem with that. But no, man, no, as I get and realize and got more mature, no, I'm African, bro. It don't matter if you in Brazil, if you in the continent, you in shit, I can't even think of Egypt, wherever, bro. Japan, in the slums of Brazil, bro. It don't matter, man. Salute to you, Broken Traditions. He said, this is a great live to you. I'm not even mad my flight back to Atlanta is delayed. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you, BT. Make sure you guys check out Broken Traditions channel as well.
You have to have a unified approach for something as important as reparations. And I'm going to be honest with you, and this is something that a lot of us are not looking at globally or locally, and that is what we are demanding for reparations, you normally only get through an act of war. If we get all that we are entitled to, it'll be the first time in human history that one group of people received from their oppressors that type of a settlement, that type of a resolution without no bloodshed. People go to war for less than what we're owed in reparations. And I'm going to be honest with you. I believe it's going to take war for us to get it.
But so what about...
They will give you reparations, but it will not be anything near what you were entitled to.
Because I'm familiar with the U.S. paying, obviously, the Native Americans,
the Japanese,
the
European Jews.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, of those
and they give reparations to people who they haven't even harmed, like the Afghanis, the Ukrainians, and everybody else.
Right. So, you know, how should reparations be paid? And, you know, why do you think that, you know, because there was a poll recently where they asked, you know, non-Black, you know, Americans or just non-Black people if Black people deserve reparations, and overwhelmingly they said no. So why do you think that non-Black people said, these are non-Black people, you know? When
non-Black people.
You know, why do you think they don't think that Black Americans deserve reparations? And how would you go about giving reparations to Black Americans?
Good question. First of all, why does the opinion of an Asian matter at all? You are not an enslaver. You are not an enslaved. You understand me? What does the opinion of someone who had nothing to do with my tragedy, why does their opinion even matter? I'll tell you why it matters. America wants to create this illusion of a multicultural society where race don't matter. And America knows, because everybody wants to be here so badly, they don't have a problem shitting on Black people to improve their relationship with the white power structure. So if you ask the Asian, do Black people deserve reparations? Of course not. You ask the Arab, do Black people deserve reparations? Of course not. You ask the European Jew, who got reparations? Do Black people deserve reparations? Of course not. But we should not be surprised. If I don't value Black life, why the hell would I care about you receiving compensation for unpaid labor damages and harm. They don't value African life. So of course they don't give a damn about you getting no reparations. You understand me? Right. Because they're not approaching this question from an issue of justice or perspective of justice or equality. They're approaching this question from a perspective of racism, bigotry, bias, and discrimination. Right. Nobody wants black people to get anything because they want to take your place. You understand me? The Asian don't want you doing better than them in America. You understand? The Arab don't want you doing better than them in America. The European Jew don't want you doing better than them in America. The Latinos don't want you doing better than them in America. So of course, if somebody put a microphone in their mouth and say, should black people get something that you're not going to get, why would they say yes?
They prefer us to be a punching bag.
Absolutely. And my question is, it's none of your business.
All right.
This is an issue between black people and white people. What the Chinese man thinks is irrelevant. What the Latino thinks is irrelevant. What the European Jew thinks is irrelevant. What the Arab thinks is irrelevant. You're not the enslaved or the enslaver. Who the hell cares what you think about it? But because we're so multicultural, the power structure can use those non-black opinions against us. Because they can say, since you see the Latino as your brother and sister, since you see the Arab as your brother and sister, and we are all Americans, because black people love that Americanism, which is another reason why we're not going to get reparations, because the white man knows you would rather be an American and get reparations. If you got to choose between the two, most black people want that red, white, and blue flag more than anything else, right? And so as a result of that, the power structure can then say, since you consider yourself to be a part of the family of America, most of us don't think y'all should get reparations. So why don't we put it on the next federal election and see how many Americans think black people should get reparations? And then they could just block out the whole thing and say most Americans don't think this is a good thing for the country. You see? And you know how they were able to do that? Because we started identifying with this country more than ourselves. We should have never bought into this American citizenship garbage. We should have never allowed that. Just like we should have never bought into people of color. We should have never bought into minority. We should never bought into disadvantaged communities. All of these are labels that clump you in with all non-white people that allows the government to take care of their needs and never take care of yours. Right. And nobody even see you not being taken care of because guess what? Your issues are being smothered by Arab issues, Latino issues, Chinese issues, homosexual issues. So nobody even realized black people still suffering because you allowed yourself to be defined in such a way that other groups were included with you. That's the worst thing you can do as a people with such a unique history as we have in this country. We have to stand up and stand out like a sore thumb. But because most black people have been brainwashed by church that being race first is a sin, right? And because most black people have a low racial self-esteem problem, the last thing they want to do is stick out. We are too neurotic about being black. We are too insecure about being black. We are too anxious about being black. We don't want to stick out. We want to blend in. And that's how that multicultural weapon was used against us.
I think you make some good points. Salute to Sean Jackson. He says, my only problem with the reparations argument is that if the rest of this country is really as anti-black as we claim it is, why would they ever do right by us? And that's the thing, Sean, and that's where I'm kind of like, I don't think reparations will ever happen. Because of the sentiment you just made, but it also goes back to something Zaddy, I had to do something about your name, bro. I can't keep calling this a grown man Zaddy, bro. I can't keep doing this. But he's right here. Zaddy was right. He says, everybody rolled their eyes when I say this. In history, no one is given anything. It's fought for. If we are not willing to fight, the reparations talk is a joke. So I think both of you guys' comments are connected in the same way. At the end of the day, unless we're willing to take it, because nothing in history is given. Everything is history and is taken. Unless we're willing to take it, it's just talk at the end of the day, man, which I don't mind. It doesn't bother me like it bothers some other people, but both of you guys are right. I think both of you guys are right. Let's get back to it.
You know, right now when we're having these conversations, there's a lot of words being interchanged. We got African Americans, we got blacks, you know. So some people would say that Black Americans have an identity crisis. We don't know if we want to identify as black. We don't know if we want to be African American. We got FBA, we got Moors. We got all these different terms to describe black indigenous slaves, or you get what I'm saying? So do you think that black people in America have an identity crisis?
I think most black people in the world have an identity crisis. You got to remember, when a white man went into the Caribbean,
thanks for the tip.
If you were a British subject, you may have called yourself British. If you went into French West Africa, there are Africans who might still consider themselves subjects of the French Empire. You understand me? Most Africans globally have an identity crisis because we have been conquered by white people.
That's crazy, man. We got a super chat here from Eric Jordan. This is just me thinking out loud. It always trips me out when I would see, like, I know there's several African countries. You guys forgive me. I've never been to the continent if I'm saying the countries inaccurately, but there's several countries in Africa who their primary language is French. Like, when I really sit back and thought about, I believe the Ivory Coast may be one country. I could be wrong, but I know there's several countries. You guys let me know in the chat because I don't want to start listing countries and I'm completely inaccurate. But I know there are several countries over in the continent who French is their first language. And it blows my mind, but the first time when they really realized, I just got mad. Yo. Like, this shouldn't be this way. I know it. Salute to Eric Jordan. He says, Umar spin facts. Appreciate you, EJ. Let's get back to it.
Remember, only once upon a time, the only independent country you had on the face of this earth that was black was Ethiopia. That's the only free black country on the face of the earth at one time. And we were forced to do what? Speak our oppressor's language, wear his clothes, worship through his religion, and identify with his flag.
Right.
So we all had, and many of us still have, an identity crisis. Now, as far as all the different...
Believe it or not, KD, some conversations you might just want to sit on the sideline about.
And ideologies and political ideologies. Here's what I say to that. I don't give it a lot of attention because I think most black people know they're from Africa.
Right.
So when people lie and say you're not from Africa, you're a Cherokee or a Choctaw, this or that, most black people have enough common sense and command of the history to know where they came from. I mean, you have DNA analysis now. We don't even have to debate this philosophically. We can find out genetically. Give some blood and let's see if the Cherokee Nation comes up on the damn paperwork. You understand me? It's not going to come up because you're an African.
Right.
But again, nobody wants to be on a losing team. So look at the contradiction. We'll get mad at a Jamaican African brother or sister who doesn't identify with us. We'll get mad at an immigrant Nigerian African brother or sister who don't want to identify with us. But you got American Africans right here who will tell you they're not African. I'm a Cherokee. Crazy. I'm a Native American. I'm an alien. I'm a this, I'm a that. And we don't say nothing to them. You see, so how is them not wanting to be an American African any different than a homegrown American African telling you I ain't African? You see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
The harm is equal. So why separate it? See, as Pan-Africanists, we don't see, there's really no differences. The same isms and schisms and self-hate that we have in America, they have it in Africa. They have it in the Caribbean. There's Jamaicans who will tell you they're not from Africa.
They got over in there, they don't really, they have racism, obviously, but since the majority of the continent is black people, they have a whole thing called xenophobia now, like, where you discriminate from another African because they live in a different country. Like, you get what I'm saying? So
they do, but a lot of the xenophobia, and it's not justifiable, but a lot of the xenophobia is economically related because what happens is you live in South Africa.
Right.
He lives in Namibia, hypothetically.
Right.
It's the classes you mean?
No, stay with me.
Yeah.
So you are boycotting your job because y'all want higher pay.
21, wow.
So they come to Namibia and tell you, get me 100 Namibians, come to South Africa, we need y'all to break this protest. You hungry, you got kids to feed, so guess what you do? You come across national lines and you break the South African protest. Now you just gave birth to that xenophobia. Why would you bring your black ass to my country and sabotage my fight for better pay? You see that?
Okay.
So a lot of the xenophobia in Africa is economically related. It's the white man, again, putting black people against black people. It's the same thing they do over here with us. It's no different.
Salute to the homie H. Louise. He says French and Portuguese biggest colonizers of Africa, bro. And it's funny because you can just go back. Great point, H. Louise. And someone else just said it a second ago. Let's see. I need to learn how to type. It's most you find, bro. Right here from Wokewill. Rwanda used to have French as language. You can tell who colonized who by the language in the electrical outlets. I didn't even think about the outlets, Wokewill, but great observation. Think about it. Brazil speaks Portuguese. That always blew my mind. Every country, what the hell? Every country in Southern America speaks Spanish. Fucking Spain ain't nowhere close to here, so they always let you know. And then in Brazil, they spoke Portuguese. So they were dominated by Portugal. It's crazy, bro. And Sean Jackson said it was like 21 countries that spoke French, man. That just, when I really sat back and thought about that, I was like, that's crazy, man. Let's get back to it, guys.
Right.
So which division you think is more important to fix first? The division here in the US or the division in Africa?
It's always global because we do not live in a isolated box. And that's the problem when people say you got to take care of the African American thing first. That's ridiculous because you may never take care of the African American thing. So the whole African world goes to hell because we didn't fix this first. And you'll find that you can actually do a better job of fixing local issues when you tap into the global issues because you're cutting yourself off from ideas. You're cutting yourself off from strategies. You're cutting yourself off for resources that can be put in play locally. And the thing that I always get with people, why can't you do two things at once? Can't you carry water over here and still carry a cake over here? When you drive in your car, ain't you staying with your arms and using the gas and the brake with your foot?
Right.
Why, only when we deal with politics and black solutions, do people say you can only do one thing at a time? You can do both. Every Pan-Africanist in history has done both. We focus on the global unity of the race while we attack our domestic problem. The most honorable Marcus Garvey from right here in New York City was more instrumental in a lot of the changes that came to black people in New York City than local black elected officials.
And one thing I don't want to interrupt him about it, keep him going. He makes a point here. Whenever it's something that's dealing with black people exclusively, it's like we can't do that right now. Like we can never do multiple things at one time. That's just a good, quick observation.
And he was a Pan-Africanist. So people have this perception that Pan-Africanists only care about the global agenda. Yes, the global agenda is king. You damn right. But my local issues matter just as much. Because if I'm trying to organize people to join the global fight, what better way to do that than to show and prove where I am? You understand?
Right.
I'm a Pan-Africanist, but name me a school psychologist who puts some more work for our kids than me right here in America. Nobody.
Right.
Historically, there's no psychologist who's ever done for black people what I've done for black people as it relates to training parents and making sure they can protect their children. I'm the greatest in that area.
And that's one thing that I disagree with Dr. Umar. Not necessarily what he just said, but the self-promotion. Calling himself the king of African, of Pan-Africanism. Miss me with that. That's why I think that's one thing we were talking about. Dr. Umar, who I don't like, he's got a bit of an ego, calling himself the king. And I did this personally. He can be a big braggadocious, if you will. And I don't agree with that because there's no need for it, man. This is my opinion.
But I'm still a Pan-Africanist. Why can't I do two things at once?
Right.
I'm going to Johannesburg next month, Ethiopia next month, Guadeloupe, Jamaica. I could still be in the streets of Philadelphia protesting. I could still be in New York handling what I got to do. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
Our problems are multi-systemic, and the solutions must be multimodal as well. We just can't put all eggs in one basket and wait for that basket to sell before we get another basket. That's ridiculous. You're working on something while he's working on something, while you're working on something, while I'm working on something, while he's working on something. There is no one problem at a time. That's ridiculous.
Right. So, what would be your solution to reparations and how should that be?
Well, for me, a couple things. Number one, the psychological cost of reparations has not been effectively quantified yet. That's being left out of the conversation. You can get more for psychological damage than you could get for unpaid labor. You feel me? 246 years of unpaid labor, that's nothing compared to the psychological terrorism that white people has reaped on our ancestors. That's in our soul, in our DNA, in our blood.
Right.
I don't hear enough people talking about the psychological cost. That's your biggest pay right there. And when I say pay, I don't say cash because I think cash payment is a trap. I don't have a problem with cash being on the list, but it should not be primary, especially now, because you have BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, who are about to float their own currency. They're going to tie it to the gold reserves in their countries, and that's going to drop the value of the dollar. So if the U.S. dollar is about to plummet, why in the hell would you accept payment for your ancestors' dehumanization through a worthless American dollar? Money is a trap. But all these thirsty reparations people, all they want is some money. I mean, let's just be honest. Half the people talking about reparations just want to check. They have no vision for changing nothing for Black America. They have no history of grassroots struggle. They're Utopian opportunists, most of them. They're not deep thinkers.
I honestly don't think Black people would be financially responsible enough to use that money. I think we just going to get that money right back.
We are. Cause and change.
We are.
Cause and change.
Which is another issue that I have with our approach to reparations.
Oh, God. Pause for a second. I will be so goddamn disappointed if that shit happened. It's like the Dave Chappelle. Y'all remember the Dave Chappelle skit from like 20 years ago when they got that? That's where they got the...
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
That's where that skit came from. When they all got, if y'all remember that, they all got reparations and they was just outside, the Cadillac stock, it went through the roof. Oh my God. Part of me wants to say that's not possible, Theo. We're smarter now. We wouldn't do that as a people. But no, you're thinking about your individual self, sir. Let's get back to it.
When did we come together and choose people to represent us in this conversation and in this negotiation?
Who is it though?
People are self-selecting themselves. You know why? Because we are disorganized. So before there's any reparations conversation, before there's any distribution of reparations, we have to first organize and elect the people we want to represent us. You just can't have somebody on YouTube popping up, I'm the face, I'm the face. That's why Black America always gets exploited. Because
I'm sorry, I hate to pause it right now, but PA Texas made a good one. The Conquistadors, if y'all have some time, I did this a couple years ago. There's a documentary, there's probably multiple documentaries. There's likely multiple documentaries. Watch the documentaries on the Conquistadors, man. How they came through from Spain into South America and just pillaged, man. I'm talking about, that documentary has to be 4 hours at minimum, but it might be like a whole 8-hour shift. I spent a Saturday watching that shit, and it educated me. It taught me so much information. I was fucking heated watching that. It made me so goddamn mad, man. But I suggest everyone watch it. Go on YouTube, look at the Conquistadors, and watch what they did, man. How they came from Spain into South America and just tore through that land. The stories about the indigenous people is just insane, bro. I just want to point that out, man. The Conquistadors started with Columbus, came here and wiped out everything they could. The only reason we speak English is because England got over here and ran the Spanish to what's now Mexico. Facts, bro. Let's get back to it, man.
we are disorganized, anybody can claim to be the leader. You can go out here right now and say you're the leader of Black America, and guess what? Nobody's probably going to oppose you because we are so disorganized. And a disorganized people are ripe for opportunists. Opportunists love disorganization because it gives you the right to do anything and not be held accountable for it. So number one, we need to be organized. And until we get organized, there should be no conversation on reparation. Because I'm gonna tell you what the white man gonna do. We already know what he's gonna do. He's gonna look for people he can use. And he's gonna give the reparations to them. And he's gonna dictate how they use the reparations. Y'all follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So he's not sweating this. He said, okay, this is how y'all want to handle this? No organization, no conversation. Just a few, okay, well, let me select him because I know I own him. And let me select him. I know I own him. And y'all going to use this money just for basketball and football. You understand me?
Right.
It'll be a joke.
Right.
A disorganized people should never go to war with an organized people.
Right. That's valid.
There has never been a war in history where a disorganized group of people won against an organized group of people. Show me where. We can't. And reparations will be no different. On top of that, you need an infrastructure to catch the reparations, to make sure that the black dollar circulates several times before it leaves your community.
Right.
The black dollar leaves our community in less than 24 hours. So if you accept a cash payout, all you did was serve as a middleman between the Federal Reserve and every thirsty merchant in the black community raping us financially. Because every penny you get from reparations is going to go to the Chinaman, to the Arab, to the Jew. It's going to Mercedes, it's going to Nike. And then black people say, you don't know that that's true. Yes, I do know that that's true. You know why? Because as a psychologist, the best predictor of future behavior is current behavior.
Right.
So you mean to tell me we're going to radically change our spending habits with the reparations money?
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
When you've never been responsible with your own damn money? What happened to all the stimulus checks Black America got? What we do with that for the people? What about our tax returns? What do we do with that for the people? What have we done since Dr. King's murder 55 years ago, financially and collectively, to transform our reality? Nothing at all. And that's why I've said I do not believe that the current generation of African people should be responsible for the dissemination or discussion over reparations, because we haven't done anything worthwhile that will entitle us to that type of responsibility, right? So we should get our land back. All the land that was confiscated from African people between the end of slavery and the end of Reconstruction. You're talking about tens of thousands of acres. All the land got to come back. All of the inventions that black people invented, everything from the gas mask to the stoplight, refrigerated truck, the golf tee, the ironing board, all of that reverts back to us as a permanent patent. And whenever you use it, we got to license it to you. We get paid for it. Black music, all black music, only black people. One of the biggest reparations settlements we can have. Only black people can own, sell, publish, promote, or perform black music.
That's big, right? That's
Black music is one of America's top exports.
Right.
This country makes more money off selling black talent than almost anything else she sells. If we owned Michael Jackson's catalog, Sam Cooke's catalog, the Beatles catalog, think about that.
Prince catalog.
Prince catalog, all of them. We have enough money to build a Black Wall Street in every city. We got to get the music.
Facts quick.
Any reparations package that does not give us exclusive control of our music, as far as I'm concerned, is a loss. Because Black music is too powerful, too globally influential, and brings in too much revenue for us not to control the music.
That is a good point, man. That is a good point about ownership, not having ownership of all Black music, man. Because Black music, I've said this before, and I'm not the first person to say this. Black people are the meter for what's cool. And it's always been that way. It's always been that way. But he's right on that. Woke weave stocks are up 1,000% when the checks come out. Stop it. You're right.
Oh, are you referring to like the past music or current?
Past and present. Past and present.
You
In
think
other
that's
words, Sony Records, Warner Brothers, Universal, you've made billions of dollars off those catalogs. Pass them on over now. Do you feel me? They've made more than enough money off of our deceased artists.
Right.
You understand me? More than they families made. It's time to revert them on back.
What you think?
And we can't let nobody trivialize that, because this is how you going to just take it back? The same way white people went into Palestine and took land from the Palestinians and gave the Israelis, the European Jews, a country of their own.
But that go back to the war thing. Like they shed blood for that. They went over there with organized. You know what I mean? And was able to.
But that was an act of the global white power structure. The European Jews themselves didn't go over there and wage war.
Okay.
The U.S. and Britain, they did that. And the reason they did that is they wanted to have a satellite country amongst the Middle Eastern nations that they could use as a spy in a military base in case they need to go to war with Iran or Iraq. In other words, it benefited America in the UK to have Israel right here amongst the Arabs. So if we need to go to war, we can launch from right here. They was looking out for themselves, really.
Always.
You see. But also, in addition to that, America's natural resources. America has like 10 major natural resources. We should get a 25% cut of the revenue of all those natural resources into perpetuity, permanently, forever. You
What about
follow me?
tax exemption? Should that be on the table as well?
I'm not against it. It's
Okay.
not the most important thing, though.
All right.
Because if you're economically empowered, you really don't care what your taxes are. We have
Let me grab this comment here. I'll rock with Woke Quill. It's a couple people. I like the way Woke Quill thinks. Sean Jackson as well. Zaddy is right. I like and other people as well. I like this comment about DeMarco. I had to address it, bro. This put a smile on my face. He says, "This how I know I'm in the right place with the right people every morning. We can go from Pookie and Pookiesha one day to the betterment of our people as a whole." Shout out Theo in the squad, bro.
Bang! Bang! It's good!
No doubt, DeMarco, man. That means a lot, man. It's like, yeah, we can laugh at some foolishness, but I like to, learn some shit. That's one thing about me. I always like to learn. I've always been that way. I have a curious mind. I think that's probably the best way. I love to learn, and I only love to learn. I love to learn new things. And if I could teach anything on here, which I don't think I'm much of a teacher, if anything, one lesson: chew the meat, spit out the bones, man. I just think us as people, not even just Black people in general have that problem. They'll come into a conversation with their ear closed because I don't like him. And the only thing that I ask people, open one ear, bro. Just open one ear. Because you might pick up something that you didn't know about the person. Man, let's get back to it, man. That's all I ask. Chew the meat, spit out the bones.
Like the Native Americans, don't they get aren't they like exempt from taxes and stuff?
Who
like
is?
that? Native Americans.
I'm not sure. They might be.
I think that was part of the.
I'm not against it.
Right.
But I don't, when you think of a reparations settlement, the whole purpose of the settlement is to empower your people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? There's no billionaire in America who's fighting for a tax exemption because he's making enough money to pay them. Are y'all following me? We got to make sure.
They find loopholes in the system where
they find loopholes to pay less. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But they're not going to sleep worrying about their tax bill. Jay-Z and Tyler Perry are not losing sleep over their tax bill because they're wealthy. We have to make sure that we don't approach reparations, which is supposed to be an empowerment vehicle for African peoples, with a poverty mindset. You follow me? It's like if somebody said Black people should never have to pay to park on the street again. Who the fuck cares?
Right.
Do you feel me? If you got enough revenue coming in, who cares about that?
Right.
If we have to be concerned about a tax exemption, then you're automatically telling me that whatever we're getting for reparations isn't enough to sustain our families. You feel me?
Yeah.
If we got to be concerned about a tax exemption, whatever we got on that reparations list is not enough to sustain us. Because if you still got to hide from your taxes, you're not making enough money. You feel me?
That's right.
So that means we got to go back to the drawing board.
So with these big companies controlling like the politicians, how likely you think it is for us to get our music back from these big companies?
Well, remember, your negotiations are with the government.
Yeah. All right, let me grab the super chat here. And again, the music thing to me was just an example, because I think a lot of people are like taking it literal. At least for me, it was just an example. But yeah, Wokewill was right. Wokewill was like, well, why should let's take James Brown, for example, why should his money go to the black people as a whole instead of his family? I was under the interpretation that Dr. Umar meant that, in the case that there was no family. But I could be wrong, though. Y'all cooking in the chat, though. Let's see who we got here. Salute to Messy Michonne. Great to have you as well. Make sure you guys are checking out. If you're not checking out Messy Michonne, what are you doing with yourself? Michonne, let us know the next time you're going to go live. And yeah, I sent you that one that we reacted to. I think it'd be good content. Appreciate you, Messy Michonne. I haven't played this all day.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
Back to it. Yeah, facts, Derek. I see what you say. The citizens of Alaska get a cut of their revenues. That's every year, bro. Every year. I wonder is that oil money? We'll get back to it. Let's get back to it.
So it's the government that got to go to the Jewish corporations that own our music and say, this goes to them now.
Just my interpretation.
We don't care if y'all like it or not. And you know why the Jewish music companies can't say nothing about it?
Wow.
Because they participated in our slavery too. So they couldn't say, well, this was just business.
Yeah.
No. Y'all financed the slave ships. You were the ones who paid the slave masters for slaves who showed up deceased or missing an arm or missing a leg, or the ones who committed suicide. European Jewish companies were the biggest financiers and insurers of the slave voyages. They were also slave owners.
Miss Michonne says she's going to be going live on Thursday. Make sure you guys subscribe to her channel. We get that link drop. Yeah, definitely check out Michonne for sure.
Okay. The
I ain't going.
Secretary of
you
War.
bordering anti-Semitism. That's what they're going to say.
No.
Right
This
now,
is truth. Anti-falsehood. Secretary of War for the Confederacy, I believe, was a European Jew. He owned over 100 slaves, I believe.
So that's not enough bloodshed. You get what I'm saying? The time of slavery, all the black people that died. That's not enough bloodshed for us to get reparations the right way.
Of course it is, but here's the problem. Here is the problem. You were enslaved to give white people an eternal advantage over everyone else in the world, economically and politically, including you.
Thanks for the tip.
With reparations, you're asking this white man to undo, repair, reparations. You're asking him to undo the unfair advantage he spent the last 500 years building for himself.
Right.
And that's why I'm gonna go back to my earlier point. I don't think we get reparations without war. People have went to war for less than what we are entitled to.
And hey,
bang, bang, it's good.
Somebody said this exact thing in the chat. Like, at the end of the day, it's just talk if you're not willing to take it. But hey, if we're gonna actually go to war, that's a different subject. But I at least like the fact that he acknowledged that. We got a super chat I need to grab. Sean Jackson says, this is one of the things me and Umar fundamentally disagree on. FBAs are Western, we are individualistic, which is true. Omar wants a level of social collectivism that we naturally don't want. I think that's fair, Sean. I think that's fair. I think the only thing that I'm hesitating agreeing with you with, as far as we naturally don't want, or you may be right that we might not necessarily don't want, but I think we could change, or maybe I'm just being a bit hopeful, because we are very individualized out here, and I kind of think that may hurt us as a people, man. But what the hell do I know? I'm just a weed head talking on YouTube. Let me grab this next one. Bro, that beige bell one was big prophecy and lesson learned, just like the Boondocks Facts, DeMarco. I'm sorry, let me grab this super chat here. Salute to the homie Mark Kendall. What you got, bro? I rocks with MK. MK says, Theo, your depth of coverage is amazing. Oh, wow. Both sides are salient. There's culpability to be shared on both sides. History doesn't repeat in rhymes. How do we unlearn what we've learned? Facts, man. Facts, MK, great question. The only thing that I can say myself, I appreciate the compliment as well. The only thing that I can say myself, man, is just, shit, man, just be willing to learn. And people use the internet for more than just porno and YouTube, man. Like, and I'm just saying this just in general. I've said this all the time. We have miniaturized computers in our pockets. There's no reason to be ignorant. I've said this before, I think earlier in the year, and I've been saying this, but I hadn't really said it on the podcast until earlier in this year, and I need to start saying it as more. This is something that I came up with. Ignorance is optional. In 2023, ignorance is optional. So when people walk around saying, I don't know, or just dumb to oh man, or this huge issue, I don't know, it's because you choose to be ignorant about shit. If you talk about white supremacy and people say it doesn't exist, it's like, no, you're choosing to put your head in the sand. We all have information. We have miniaturized computers in our pocket. I think people just need to pull out their phones, go on the computer and look up some shit that's more than just jerking off and nonsense, man. Educate yourselves, man. It's easy because there's no excuse. Back in the day, you had to go to the library to write a paper, had to crack open the encyclopedia, spend all goddamn day. Now, how did Jimi Hendrix die? And they can just tell me right here on the phone, man. Back to it. We were talking about that earlier, if you guys missed it.
And here's the big question you got to ask yourself. Because from a Garvey perspective, it's all about power. It ain't about equality. It ain't about justice. It ain't about Jesus. It ain't about voting. It ain't about being an American. It ain't about equity. You know what it's about? The power you have to force the white man to do what he don't want to do. And here's my question. What are black people going to do if the white man gets on television right now and say, I'm not getting anything for reparations? We took a poll and most Americans don't feel it's necessary. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Tear up their own community.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We're going to protest and tear up our own communities and devalue.
And the very next day, you'll be having lunch and cheese with the same white folks who said you don't deserve reparations.
That's the sad part.
Do you feel me? You have to understand something. We haven't had a comprehensive, sustained movement for systemic change in this country since Dr. King. No matter what people may say or think about Dr. King, he was the last leader to give us a real movement. Nobody has given you a movement since Dr. King. You've had your Million Man marches for one day. You've had your Al Sharpton rallies for one day. You had your Jesse Jackson get-togethers for one day, but you have not had a movement, not a sustainable one, not a comprehensive one. The last time was Dr. King. The point that I'm making, black people are politically lazy and white people know it.
That's why I find it hard for, us to be patriotic for a place that doesn't love or care for us.
But we are the most patriotic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And you know why we're the most patriotic? Because we're the most psychologically homeless. Black people are very neurotic about their identity. We hate Africa, where we come from. We cling to America. We will go around the world and brag about being an American, although you enjoy almost no rights. Immigrants who are not even citizens have more rights than you. You have Ukrainians right now getting the Social Security checks, free housing, free medical care, free education. But you have the highest black homelessness rate since the 1960s. How you got Ukrainians who not even citizens living better than black people who built the country? And the reason it's so difficult for us to change that is black people care more about their American citizenship than they do about justice. The minute you bring up, maybe we should disidentify as American citizens, it's certainly an option. It's certainly an option. You have a whole refugee law in the United Nations that would allow us to say we're not being treated like Americans. We no longer identify as Americans. We are Africans in exile or whatever name we want to give ourselves. But we are definitely not Americans, and we are protected by the United Nations under their refugee laws and their anti-genocide conventions. We would get more rights as refugees in this country than we do as so-called American citizens.
I mean, everybody else have their location. They got Little Italy, Chinatown. There's no place
No
for
Little Africa. Nowhere in this country where you go where black people own the school, the hospital, the bank, and the supermarket.
Facts.
4 major institutions, not to mention manufacturing and distribution. But we are $2 trillion a year. $2 trillion a year. No institutions. Half your HBCUs are supposed to be closed in the next 30 years. God forbid that doesn't happen. But you want more money. But you want more money. To do what exactly? You mean to tell me you can't spend the $2 trillion you got responsibly? But now you want the ancestors' money so you can splurge that too.
Damn, I just realized something. We at the end of the interview now. I just realized, Michonne, this is a 2-part interview. I just realized we haven't even got to a relationship yet. I think this has been a good conversation. Agree or disagree. I actually think the conversation has been relatively good, but it didn't touch on any relationship shit. I just realized. Excuse me. Dr. Umar hasn't gone full panda yet. That's what I'm here for. But I'm glad. I'm learning stuff. At least me.
If I had a vote, I vote no.
Me neither.
That money, none of it, none of the restitution package gets disseminated amongst Black America until Black America organizes itself and begins to act responsibly. I would say this. Build the institutions with the $2 trillion that you got. And once you build the institutions, then you get the reparations. Prove that you can handle this. Prove you are responsible enough to deal with these reparations. Build some institutions. Until we get those 5 major institutions in 20 major black cities, no reparations should be disseminated because we're going to do nothing but waste it and give it back to non-blacks.
That's fair. Listen, let me get to this next topic. You know, Dr. Umar, I had a lot of conversations with people about this topic, a lot of heated debates. People want to know, can you be pro-black and date outside your race?
Absolutely not.
And I got my good brother right here, you know, who's an advocate.
Ooh, I didn't know. This is at the end, so I guess that's how we're going to end it. Man, I should put this in a poll. I'm going to put it in a poll. Can you be black? Can you be pro-black, but date outside your race? Let's get to it,
And he says that you can be pro-black and date outside.
Impossible. You cannot. Marriage is a business. When you get married, you commit your mind, your body, your heart, your soul, and your pocketbook. Your savings, your estate, your wealth. You commit that to that person you're married to. See, when you marry, you don't marry an individual. You marry into a race. You marry into a community. So I didn't marry a Jewish woman. I married into Jewish society. I didn't marry an Asian woman. I married into an Asian family. There's no way you can claim to love black people, especially as a black man, knowing that only 1 out of every 4 black women will get married in her lifetime. We have the lowest female marriage rate in the country, 25%. That means 75% of black women will never, ever know what it feels like to be proposed to. And if you care about the black community, you got to care about saving the black family, because the family is the essential institution of a community. And the only way you can save a family is to build a family. You can only build a family with a black woman. Absolutely not. You cannot talk black and sleep white. And why would the original man want a member of the race that enslaved and dehumanized you to carry your seed? Why would I, after the rape and the lynching and the slavery and the Willie Lynch and the Jim Crow and the police brutality and the economic apartheid and the gentrification and the AIDS and the Ebola, the West Nile, the COVID, the genetics, the eugenics, why would I want to take my original seed, God's seed, and put it in a cave-dwelling organism? Why would I want to do that?
Yeah, we need to hear you, brother.
The mic is yours, Ace.
Yeah.
I want to incubate my son, my daughter, in the womb of the people who have destroyed my people in this world.
Now, let me say first, when I made this argument, I wasn't necessarily talking about white women, obviously. Now, I mean, there's other races out there. But
and they hate you just as much.
But what I'm saying, all right, so you said yourself earlier that there are black people among us that are not for us.
True.
So with that being said, there are people of other races that are more for us than there are our people.
Describe for us, please.
When you go to protests for black rights and police brutality and stuff, and you see other races that are out there and there are black people that would never be caught out there. I mean,
okay. So because an
I'm just all right, go ahead.
Or a Caucasian showed up for a George Floyd march,
right?
That means they give a shit about black people.
I'm just saying.
Let me ask you this: according to the Pew Research. They said 1 in 5 protesters during the George Floyd protest was black.
Dragon Style 6907D, just subscribe, salute.
General, I salute you.
That was almost at my name limit. You motherfuckers be coming up here with 30 letters on the screen. Salute to you. I think I just called you an MFer. I said that respectfully. Let's get back to it. Thank you for subscribing.
Okay.
4 out of 5 were non-black.
Right.
At least 3 out of the 4 were white. So the George Floyd protests were mostly white people. Okay. If white people care that much about black folks,
no changes.
Why didn't that woman who got Emmett Till murdered, why was she never arrested? If white people care that much about black life, why all these police that's going around killing black folks are not being held accountable? If white people care that much about black life, why don't we see it in the political and economic realities of black people?
Facts.
You know why they showed up to the George Floyd march?
Why?
To dissipate the power of black people and to redirect the focus of those marches. White people outnumber black people 5-1. So if you let them in, they automatically take control by virtue of their numbers and redirect it. And so Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic Party turned the George Floyd march into a damn celebration for Joe Biden. Joe Biden votes in the Democratic Party. We got nothing out the march whatsoever because we let it get diluted.
Right.
You have to keep it all black. The minute you let white people in, because you can't control how many join. There's more of them than us here. You can't control how many join. So the minute you let them in, they now have the power to remake this into whatever they want. And because most Negroes who participated in the George Floyd March made it multicultural, every time we get on the microphone, this is not just about black people. I'm so tired of hearing that shit.
It is, though.
Everywhere
it is
you go,
about us.
It is about us.
Yes.
But if you notice, when it's about us, it can't be about us.
Yeah.
Can't just
See, when the Mexicans shut down the highways in California, nobody tried to multiculturalize that. You understand me?
You're not welcome here.
Absolutely. This is our thing. When the European Jews, this is our thing. But soon when black people do it, we got to multiculturalize to do what? Kill the focus of it.
Holding hands.
Nobody
with
wants
everybody.
black people to be free, and they damn sure don't want you to be equal, and they definitely don't want you to have more than they do.
So let me help my good brother out, right? So some of the talking points when I do have these conversations with other black men or black women is that, you know, procreating is part of being pro-black, right? Procreating with another black person. So some people will say...
Before we get into that,
okay,
what would be your description of a pro-black person?
I hate the term pro-black.
Okay.
Because I never heard of a pro-Mexican or pro-Jew. This is how messed up we are. Not you for saying pro-black, but for you to have to define a black person as pro-black. Do you know what that means?
Right.
That automatically means by contraindication that most black people are anti-black.
That's a fact.
Do you feel me? If I walk in and you say he's pro-black, because this is what people say when they see me, it'll be 1,000 blacks. He's pro-black. Do you know what you're saying about everybody else in here?
They're
fucking coons. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. We're the only people, we're the people who are for us are the minority. Think about that.
But
you have to describe people who care about black people as pro-black. No other group has to do that. And it speaks to how much most of us are anti ourselves.
I don't necessarily think that means you're anti-black.
Well, that's my thing. Yeah, I agree with this, Conley. Keep seeing it as black and white. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I say if you leave it at just that basics, yeah, I agree with you.
Because usually when I think of the word pro, usually is the most extreme of something, right? This is why when you have pro-life and everything else, when you put pro in front of something, that means the most extreme. I think people confuse being proud to be black with being pro-black. I think people are proud to be black.
I don't see how one could exist without the other.
What?
If I'm proud to be black, I'm pro-black. I'm for my people.
Yeah, but some people might say, like, when you look up the definition, it might say only supporting black-owned businesses or only to support everything all black. So when you say pro is the most extreme, I'm only buying from black people, I'm only reproducing, I'm only loving black people.
It would be impossible to only buy from black people because we don't manufacture and sell everything that somebody needs in order to survive. For me, pro-black means always putting the best interests of my people first in any situation or any decision that I have to make.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying? You ain't got to be super this, you ain't got to be a black superhero. But I'm going to put my people's interests above anything else in front, above the church, above the mosque, and above other minority groups. My people come first. That's all it means to me. And you ain't got to be extreme with it. You understand me? So people see me, when I walk out on the streets, white people will stop and talk. Arabs will stop and talk. I got people who follow my work of every race, and I will respect them as human beings. But when it comes to the struggle, none of your interests matter before my own people, because my people's interests will never matter before yours.
Man, I can tell, man. I'll rock with a lot of y'all because y'all my squad. But I see some dumb motherfuckers in the chat. Bang! Bang! It's good! Sucks to be you, nigga. But let's get, God damn, man. People just, oh, man. Hey, but that's y'all struggle, not mine. Salute to the squad, man. And yo, we got one more video here as well. Again, as far as Dr. Umar, let me see what the poll is saying. 64 votes. Can you be pro-black and date interracially? Let's see. 56% people say yes. 44% people say no. Let's see. My opinion on it is this, because I think you could fuck a white, like, I'm thinking it from a brother's perspective. I think you could fuck a white girl if you bang! It's good! Random Theo Coop don't really play in the snow. I guess you can have sex. I'll put you like this. I wouldn't marry a white woman, and for one reason. And I would suggest same thing. If a sister wanted to get with a white dude, I wouldn't take it serious. I wouldn't take a white woman in a relationship serious because I'm looking at it from this aspect of like getting married or something like that. Again, this is just my opinion. Here's how I look on that. If we have a child and we staying here in the States, we growing up in this racist ass country. Again, some people don't like people point out white supremacy, which I think is fucking stupid. If you don't have to, you can point out and I said this before, you can point out white supremacy and still say like, yeah, that's some bullshit, but I'm still gonna be productive. Too many, I think, small-minded and racist people say, oh, well, yeah, if you point out white supremacy, it's like, hey, well, you're just talking about it, you're not doing anything, or you're pointing us out, basically making excuses why you're not a competent person, which is two things can be true at the same time. And so many people, man, can think only one thing can be done at a time. I can point out white supremacy. I can talk about how America is built on white supremacy in every fashion of this country. And also at the same time say, nigga, get up and get a goddamn job. Bang! It's good! Now, if you sitting back not doing shit all day, not being productive all day, and spending your time on Facebook or on YouTube saying white supremacy, then yeah, you just lazy. You just a piece of shit who blames everyone else for your shortcomings. But again, two things can be true at the same time. You can point out white supremacy while also being a productive person and not blaming it for your shortcomings. But yeah, that's all. And I also had another Kevin Samuels clip real quick because I wanted to end this on a good note. Blacks spend $1.6 billion. Now, that is true, man. We spend so much goddamn money, and that's another thing we were talking about earlier on, Michonne, before you came in, as far as the reparations. Like, if we did get it, would y'all just be out, would niggas just be out here nigging? Is that what y'all would be doing out here buying Cadillacs and Rams and weave stocks going up through the goddamn roof? Back to it. All right. I don't do the snow disc, DeMarco. Facts. I wouldn't marry, but I don't give a fuck if a black man does. He happy because he's nigga. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Here's my reason against the interracial thing. Again, I'm looking at this from a perspective of getting married to this woman, not just having sex with her. If you would want to bang a white chick, I don't care. But I'm talking about procreating. And here's why I would be hesitant for it, is because if we're going to stay here in the States, that means you're going to have my black babies. And I just think white people, I think a lot, and of course not all, a lot of white people are purposely, or not or even subconsciously ignorant to, no, they're purposely, or they just flat out like racism doesn't exist, and they'll downplay that shit. And I think that if you, being a black person, has a white person as a partner, you're going to have, and you're going to have, hey, I'm teaching my black babies, hey, man, you need to watch out for this. You need to watch out for this. These are some of the things you're going to need to look for as you grow older. Hey, watch out for this. You're putting your kids on the game how America really works, not in theory, in actuality. And I would find that incredibly difficult if I was married to a white woman. She putting out her babies, and she telling little Theo that, hey, you can go outside, it's not racism. I just think that white parent, if they not rooted into it, Apache salute.
Access denied.
My bad. Wrong one.
General, I salute you.
Apache, my bad. I meant to give you the salute. But yeah, if they're not rooted into how this thing really works, I think that they'll give your child bad information. How many not even biracial or like, let's say black kids grew up like living like extremely white neighborhood and being shocked once they get their Negro wake-up call at like 18 or 19. So that's my ultimate point, man. Y'all could date interracially, but that's why I would be a little bit hesitant. Like your sister you get with a white man, and he's supposed to be the man, he's supposed to be the leader of y'all relationship, but y'all spit out black babies. That white daddy's gonna teach your black sons how to be black men in America. Again, just my 2 cents. That's just what I thought. But I just had one more. What's wrong with loving somebody that loves you? Nothing, bro. Nothing. But what's love got to do with it, man? We talk about happiness in relationships. We talk about happiness in marriages. Happiness is not the number one thing. So there's nothing wrong with loving somebody who loves you. Not at all. That's just my long-term thinking, because I'm thinking about it from a relationship as far as we going to have children. And that's just my own personal thing. So let's see. You have ninjas going to be ninjas. Facts. And then, yeah, I just had a quick KS video because I wanted to actually end this on a laugh, bro. I really enjoyed part 1. You guys let me know. Well, you guys are already saying you're screaming for part 2. So what you got, Sports Bag Theo is on fire today. We need a conversation. This one and other solutions, not pointing at the myriad of problems and staying angry. Facts, man. And learn something. What to say racism is watered down means nothing. I disagree with that one. But I do agree with you, Michonne. I do agree with you because I think I watch your content. We disagree on some things, but I do believe that, yeah, people just racism. I can't pay my rent, Section 8 home. They're racist, that's racist. No, bitch, you just didn't pay your rent.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, they're not racist because of that. I'm with you 100% on that type shit. But I just hate when people say, oh man, I hate when people have just such a small-minded way of thinking is that if you say, no man, I don't like white supremacy. Oh man, what you just sitting back here complaining? You're not doing something for yourself? It's like, bitch, I'm productive as fuck. What are you talking about? Two things can be true at the same time. I can point out the fact that I don't like white supremacy. And also, I can also say that that's not all white people. And while I also can say that I can point out white supremacy and then also still be a productive person, not making excuses as to why I ain't shit. That's just my things on it. Let's see. It's about more than you, but also your children. Yes, thank you. That's my point, Vinny, with the who loves you, like who do you in love with? And I know, yeah, of course, KD. KD, you got your mind made up. So I'm like, it's already, I don't even know. Yeah. Let's see. All right, man, we get back to it. Let me see this clip here from KS. It's just real quick and it's real funny. But yeah, man, that's the thing. People say, oh, all about love. To me, that's childish notion. That's childish thinking because we talk about that as far as relationship, love and happiness. You can like who you like, but you just have to think about that long term. I gave you guys my long term reasoning why I wouldn't date a white woman for other more than sex. You know what I'm saying? I gave you, and I explained thoroughly why I think that way. You know what I'm saying? So salute to you, Conley. Robert F. Smith giving $16 million to black students, and he has a white wife. Where's the non-pro black in that? Nothing. There's obviously none. He did a good gesture. And again, man, these are just opinions. I'm not saying that man is not pro-black. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion on this shit, bro. And congrats to him. I remember that as well, man. Appreciate you guys. Let's get to the Kevin Samuels clip. Let's see. Where is this clip at?
Got my good brother right here, you know, who's an advocate.
Oh yeah, I did a video. I just thought this was funny, so I wanted to play it again. Where is it at? Oh, it's right here. Here we go.
Hello.
Hi.
Damn, you just gonna.
I had to cover myself up. I didn't want to say you. So
cool. Hey, how old are you?
You gotta get to that woke.
I identify as a 28-year-old.
You identify as a 28-year-old?
Yes. Since everybody can identify as a woman or identify as a man, I'm identifying as a 28-year-old.
Uh-huh. Why are you here?
Well, I was on your show before. Mm-hmm. Hey. And I know you know me because every time I get on this
I
IG.
really don't.
Yeah, well, whatever. I know you know me, or your team knows me because you make sure to stop commenting. Don't even do that because you stop commenting.
Hold on. Slow your roll. Don't nobody know you.
Okay. But every time I get on here, you stop the comments.
Why are you here?
I want to talk to you.
Why?
Because I do believe what you said.
Mm-hmm.
This bitch. Mm-hmm. Yes, you paying for all my shit. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So.
Right. Is that including your fade?
Huh?
Is that including your fade? Got to pay for that too?
My fade?
Uh-huh. Oh, baby.
Holy shit, look at that rabbit.
I'm not sure where
ripping the tight nuts off.
So here you go, you pulling out all
Look at them goddamn eyelashes. First of all, I think I said this in the video. Is this bitch in the locker room? That's number one. Second of all, the masculine, the bald head. Look, I got more hair on my head than her. That's a problem, ladies. And the other thing, look at them big ass eyelashes, bro. Them shit should melt off. Is this bitch in the sauna? What is this? And she's smoking a Black and Mild.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Bitch, shut the fuck up.
All the stops with me. You put. Exactly. Don't play no games with me. Just ask me questions and don't try to play games right now. Try to cover everything up.
You're nothing but a dirty, stinking, low-down hyena.
Girl, you done?
From the streets. I'm a bitch from the streets. I get the money. I get that money. Bitch, give me what you got. I get that money.
That's it, bro.
G.I. Lane up in this bitch.
He called it G.I. Lane. Salute to the homie Eric Jordan. What EJ says. This bitch is buying the dog. Here you go. Appreciate you, EJ.
Thanks for the tip.
Appreciate you, Eric Jordan. Hold us down as always. I wanted to bring up Bella Rain's comment real quick. We get to the end of it. At the end, get out my way notification. At the end of, there you go. At the end of the day, a white woman will not be able to teach and show her black daughter how to love yourself through and through because she is not black. It is what it is. Do you? And that's what I'm saying to all the people in here with the googly eyes like children. What about love and romance? First of all, grow the fuck up. I'm gonna say that, man. It's my channel. Grow up, bro. But I get it in theory. But again, we're talking about applying it. So that's my thing, man. Do y'all, man. If y'all want to date, I dabbled in the snow when I was younger, but I'm talking about, I guess when I talk about it, I'm talking about it from the aspect that Bella Rings is talking about, like having babies and having a family. That's what, not saying it can't be done. Not saying it can't be done, but I'll be damned if a sister, you have a baby with a white man and then your son get pulled over and you know, in an obvious situation happens where race is involved and your husband's sitting there oblivious like racism doesn't exist. Don't you, didn't you hear Thomas Sowell or some bullshit like that? I've been seeing y'all fuck shit in the chat.
G.I. Lane. Looking, bald head ass coming in looking like Cobra Commander. Oh, God damn it. Oh, Cobra Commander looking Skeletor ass. Oh, my God. Your team
Thanks for the
knows
tip.
me. Holla, holla. Sure they do. My team knows her. This bitch. Yeah, my team knows her. She's that important. We have an entire dossier on the chick that needs the do-rag. We need an entire dossier on a chick whose haircut looked like Stewie.
Random fact, just yesterday, I found that song, that bang. I probably should have just asked y'all. I could have got me to it a lot quicker. I never knew what that song was. I was like, what is that goddamn song? Then I found this on Tariq's page. It just was in front of my homepage one day. I used to think that song, I'm gonna sound like an idiot by saying this. Salute to Mark Kendall. He says, look at those towels. Facts, bro. That's what I'm saying. She in the locker room. But I'm gonna sound like an idiot for saying this. But that bang, I had no idea who that was. I thought it was South Park from Cartman from South Park, which I know that is not the case. I know that's not true. Salute to you, Mark Kendall. Let's see what you got here, Project Leroy. How black does her mother have to be? Oh yeah, of course, Katie, you would ask that. Theo, get Ayanna Presley off my screen. Man, it's funny, man, because she was saying, Kevin, you know me, you know who I am, and he's like, chill, don't nobody know you. Like, we need this entire dossier. Let's see.
We need an entire dossier on her.
Holy shit.
Yep. Got to get an entire dossier on her just to tell her.
I'm sorry. Be gone. And I like how people were in the chat saying, well, like, how blow, here you go. How black does your mother have to be? You tell me, KD. That's what I'm saying, man. I swear, white people just be acting like oblivious, like racism just don't exist. Like they've never seen this shit in action. I would love to be married into a white family and you come over to the house and people are just like, oh, hey. We gonna act like that's just 100% the case.
Stop the cap.
Keep it moving though, man. That's funny.
Mm-hmm. Enjoy your 15 minutes of fame. It won't last much longer. God. You cannot make this shit up, man. You cannot make it up. I swear to God.
I'll make you famous.
You cannot make this shit up. Oh my God, you can't make it up.
Execute Order 66.
You can't make it up. You can't make it up. You can't make it up.
This bitch.
Oh my God. She thought she was doing something too. She probably gonna get like a date and a half off of that. She like, girl, I went and got on Kevin Samuels' show. I had 3 dudes in my DMs, and one took me out to Buffalo Wild Wings. Mm-hmm.
Salute to the squad, man. It's over, man. It's over, bro. Salute to Sports Bag. He said, I have biracial nieces and nephew. Other than looking attractive, they don't say anything about the problems being biracial. One is a doctor. Her big issue was asking about family issues. And that's fine. That's what they tell you as far as they don't have any problems. But I'll give you an example. We were reacting to Jason Black when he talked to Jessica X, who's, I think she's biracial. She's a content creator as well. And she's over in London. And she said the same exact thing. Like, have you ever faced any racism over in London? Because she was trying to say the UK doesn't have racism, which I know, never even going to the UK, I know that's some bullshit. But she said the same thing. Then he said, all right, cool. How did your white side of the family treat you? And she was like, oh yeah, I experienced hella racism. Like, even though that may be true about your family, but that doesn't speak for, you know, people as a collective. And again, I'm not people like, oh, you're biracial, you're wrong, or anything like that. I'm just saying being prepared. Because I want to take this out. You can't help who your parents are, but I'm talking about in the aspect of having parents that's going to prepare you for dealing with the racism that's in this country, because it's not obviously made up like some people think. But anyway, man, let's see what else you guys got going on. Let's see. Any percent is enough. I thought it was too. Before I found bang. Oh yeah, yo.
Bang! Bang! It's good.
Yeah, man. I thought that was Cartman, bro. I didn't know what that was, bro. I responded to the video when you dropped it. Oh yeah, man. I thought that was pretty funny, man. Let's see. Who created this one drop rule, or I don't know, a doctor or living room conversation? I'm not sure. I never really prescribed. Well, I guess here's how I looked at it, bro. As far as the 1% thing, I've always looked at it like this. You are who you are. Theo, I had this song all the time. Facts, Project Leader. That's what I'm saying. I know. I was just like, why haven't I asked the squad? I've been wondering what that song was for 2 years. But to go back to what you were saying, Sports Bag, I look at it like this. As far as like who's black and who's not, it's like this. If in America, you are what you look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can try to say, you know, in biracial people like, oh, I'm not black, I'm OJ, or I'm not this, I'm that. People are going to treat you what you look like in America. If you're black and you're biracial and you pass for white, people are going to treat you like you're white. If you black, I mean, this is kind of basic concepts. If you like, we can act like we can act as if people aren't treated a different way because of their skin tone, but that's bullshit. If you have two people, they're siblings, and one, and I'm going off the theory of biracial children here, and one looks white and one definitely looks darker, how do you think they're going to be treated differently? And there's no need to lie about that shit, regardless of your people in your family or not. Like, you just be honest about the shit. Yes, I said white people. Yes, I said that. Let's see. Free Daniel. Yeah. Let's see. Your parents could have helped being your parents. Exactly, man. And again, I'm not saying don't go out here, don't be having no mixed babies. I'm not saying that. For the slow people in the back, because I know some of y'all wear helmets when you're not live chatting. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have interracial dating. You can do what you do. I just think my personal thing, as far as Theo Coop theory, is that I would be hesitant to make children with someone who is white if they were like 100% down for the cause, I guess. But then again, I think y'all still likely will be looking a little bit funny in my opinion. But that's my thing. It's nothing else. It's not about your children having a lighter skin color. It's not about any of that with me. It's about the thought of me raising children in a country that is racist and also not preparing them for it. Because I think a white person would walk around literally like it's no big deal. Look like my wife, oh, Theo, that just happened. It's not. And I do think a lot of white people act like white racism doesn't exist. Not all white people, doesn't apply to all of them, and it doesn't mean that all white people are white supremacists. I'm not saying that. I would never suggest as such. But that's just my own opinion on it. Let's see. All right, we out of here, bro. My older brother is responsible for the most of the mixed kids in Connecticut.
Bang! Bang! It's good!
Oh, my Pookie cousin, man. I think all of his children, maybe like, he got like 6 or 7 children. I think like 5 or yeah. So people doing it. I'm just saying my opinion on it, you know? And I think I explained it pretty thoroughly. I'm just not sitting back like, oh, no, their hair will be too straight, or say some bullshit like one of Kendrick's. My children not gonna be dark enough. That's just my perspective on it. Y'all do what y'all do, man. We out here. Theo tell them jokers to raise their damn mixed baby. Yeah, man, it's like to me the oblivious conversation. Like, well, what do you like? What, like, how's How are they treating any differently? It's like,
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
that's when the disingenuousness, and Theo don't have time for that shit. But we'll be back for tomorrow, part 2. Exactly. What you look like is what it is in America. Exactly. But you're going to have so many people, I don't know that concept or act as it. Get the fuck out. My former best friend, and I said I had to cut ties with him. This was my best friend for years. I had to cut ties with him because he started to show his anti-black racism, and and that shit was, and I was in it. I said that before, man. I had to look at him like, yo, but I'll never forget this shit. I was the black man at his wedding. I was the black man. I was the black man at his wedding. I was the best man at his wedding, and everybody was cool. And I just remember this, dude. Some white people just can't. Some white people just don't know how to act when black people are around, especially if they haven't been raised around, if they haven't spent any time around black people. It's just, I remember this goofy ass dude coming up to me drunk, giving me a million questions about being black, and I'm like, told my dog, if you don't get your drunk cousin, I'm gonna knock his ass out, man. But yeah, bro, this is exactly it. What you look like in America is what it is, and it amazes me that people try to play ignorant to, come on, man, stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
We'll be out of here. Do better, squad. Fall out.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.
Good job, my brother. We rocking with you.
Bang! Bang! It's good!
Goddamn right. Goddamn right. Goddamn right.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I've been drinking. Can't keep your eyes off my face. Right now. Wow.
Okay.
The streets. I'm a bitch from the streets. I get the